I'm ready.
Where's Jimmy at? What's up, Internet? What's going on? Is it Friday? Is it Friday? I think it's Friday today. I'm glad to say that it's Friday. I'm happy to say that it's Friday because we've reached a pinnacle here. Like an end of the week kind of pinnacle thing going on here. I don't know if anybody can tell, but we are in the brand new studio. Should I let people know what it's named? I should probably let people know what it's named. Maboo Studios, right? MBU Studios here at the Aquarium Co-op. Lovely being hosted by Corey from the Aquarium Co-op. And we have a special guest here. Who is our special guest? I wonder if anybody can guess it. I think he's pretty well known around the internet world. It's Rob.
Wow.
From Flip
Aquatics.
Aquatics.
Yeah.
Well, Rob, what do you do, and what are you all about? Let's give our interneters here a little introduction, and we have to skip the who's the first to the chat because I have no idea who's first to the chat because I have no chat here in front of me.
Yeah.
It's currently being moderated by our man Jimmy right over there. He's just keeping track. He's keeping track of what's going on. So if super chats come in or any of that kind of stuff, we'll get into those in an hour. But I want to talk to Rob here for a minute and see where are you from?
Well, first of all, my name is Rob, Flip Aquatics, from Warren, Ohio.
Warren.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out where you were from, and I think basically our geographical knowledge of Ohio was like
limited.
There's like a Cleveland in there.
There
somewhere.
is a Cleveland.
Right.
We are the midway point between Cleveland and Pittsburgh. They call us the armpit of Ohio.
Is Pittsburgh in Ohio?
Pittsburgh is not in Ohio. It's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, okay.
So if you drew a line between Cleveland and Pittsburgh, you'd find Warren, Ohio in the middle.
Is it like the Badlands? Is it like the Badlands of Ohio?
So it's like we used to be the steel belt.
Okay.
And the reason we were the steel belt, we had all these big steel mills and all that, and now we're called the Rust Belt.
Oh,
because it all went out of business.
It's all no joy anymore.
Yeah, it's all run down, rusting away. So
now there's cool people in the Rust Belt though, starting up new businesses, right?
There is. So like we started up. We are in an area that's, I wouldn't say it's run down, but it's like the midway point between like residential and ghetto. And so we have like a compound there, kind of like the Aquarium Co-op compound, but we don't have barbed wire.
You don't have any barbed wire?
We don't have any of that.
You need some barbed wire.
I need to upgrade.
Yeah,
I'm a little jealous. But yeah, so we have a big concrete building. We do a lot of shrimp. We do some plants, but nothing like you see around here with like the Aquarium Co-op and But we have some hard goods, things like that. But we're doing some big things in Warren, Ohio.
That's cool. So a couple of things that you guys sell. One of the things you guys focus on is Dwarf freshwater shrimp, right? That's your big focal point.
Ornamental shrimp. There's so many names. Aquarium shrimp, pet shrimp, whatever you want to call it.
Well, if you say aquarium shrimp, but you don't have any saltwater shrimp, right?
We do not. We have some, but we don't sell them.
Just all sneaky, but they're not sold.
Yeah, they're not sellable.
They're not sellable yet.
No,
I was watching one of the videos that you had recently that there was some saltwater stuff going on in there.
Yeah, so what it is, I actually have a good buddy, Ken, and he actually was a customer of mine for a while, and then I started helping him out, and he wanted to get into saltwater really bad, and he wanted to actually make it into a business, and so we ended up renting him like a little room, and so he has a little coral business there, so he's got a lot of saltwater stuff, so we help build some stands for him and help him with little projects like that.
That looks cool. There's not a lot of people like doing freshwater shrimp and then also throwing some saltwater in there. Which is good.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's different. Like saltwater shrimp they're a lot bigger, so you can actually see them, and they got a lot of color to them. Like the only freshwater shrimp that really have color, like the Sulawesi shrimp, like multiple colors. Like a lot of the other ones are just like just blue, or maybe two colors, like crystal reds that have red and black or red and white. Right. But yeah, the saltwater ones are pretty gorgeous.
Yeah, there are some pretty crazy ones out there too.
Yeah, because you do quite a bit of saltwater.
Yeah. From time to time,
You got a big reef tank
Sometimes
right now,
if I
don't you?
walk over to the other side of the room.
Yeah?
You
Then
know?
that's the saltwater side, and
Yeah, it's actually, well, like, yeah, my fish room's pretty small. You'll see it.
I'm excited to see it.
It's small on purpose.
But it's big tanks.
Because you know how, yes. Yeah, it's mostly big tanks.
I have a good question for you. So there's always this debate between saltwater and freshwater.
Right.
And which one's better? You know, you got the salt people that are big into their instruments, and then you got the freshwater people that are big into keeping it simple. How do you stand? I mean, you're into both.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm into both, you know, because I'm the kind of person that's way into. I'm like the kind of guy that's like, you know, you get a car and you're like, wait, can I do something to it? You know, but not directed at cars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I'm like, oh, what can I do with this table? Can I fix it? Like, how do I make it better? So that's the natural progression for me. Is like, you know, oh, I got this aquarium. Like, how do I make the flow better in this thing? Like, oh, I'm going to add some more parts to it. I'm going to do something else to it. Like, oh, how can I make this hang-on back filter better than it was before? So that's how I ended up kind of migrating into salt, because I was like, what's this equipment that the salt guys are using?
Oh.
Because that's where a lot of the money is. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
So the development sits on the saltwater side often of aquarium products.
So do you
because
integrate a lot of saltwater products into your freshwater aquariums?
That's one of those things. Like, people always ask me, why do I run sumps? You know, because I run sumps on all my tanks.
Yeah.
It was because, you know, I'd look at what the reef guys were doing, and you see a guy with a reef, and he's got $10,000 worth of coral sitting there, and then he's got $8,000 worth of fish, and he's got a whole bunch of other stuff just packed into this really expensive thing. And you go, how is he protecting that? And you go, oh, you come back here. This is where all my giant filtration tank is. Right?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. Now, wait a minute. So there's like no equipment in that tank at all. And he's like, oh, no, because I do all the maintenance over here in the sump. So that's why I started bringing that over into my freshwater side. There's a lot of freshwater people doing that before.
Yeah.
But that's where I went, oh, okay, wait a minute. If I've got, like, let's say I've got my 240 and it was full of crystal shrimp, if you remember that. I had a huge crystal shrimp colony in there. It was like, well, how do I start protecting my investment in all of these shrimp that I got going on in this big freshwater tank? It's like, oh, okay, I could add a sump. Well, wait, what happens when I add a sump? I add water volume. All the equipment's down here. It's super easy to do maintenance. I don't have to, like, climb around and, like, get anything in or out or any of that stuff. And
You're not really messing with the tank.
Yeah, I'm not really messing with the tank. I can allow the plants to grow and the shrimp to just do their own thing, and then I can come down here and then just be all day, like, banging around down there, moving media around and all that kind of stuff, and it doesn't really disrupt anything. So
That makes sense.
that was like, you know, that's where I really started going, because, and I forget, it was probably like, I think when it really, really peaked, I don't know. Throwing a date out there is really difficult for me to go, like, was that 20 years ago? Or was it 5? Or was it 5 years ago?
The day when you're like, sump is the way to go.
Sump was the way to go is when I was checking out a buddy of mine's big skimmer. So he had like I think it was like a 300-gallon reef tank.
Yeah.
And then he had like a 200-gallon sump. And the skimmer in it was like this tall.
It was a monster.
It was just monster skimmer that he'd gotten from like some aquarium
Yeah.
that had gone out of business. And I was like, what is that? He's like, oh, that's my skimmer. Like, and he was all just like all nonchalant, like that's normal, you know. And we're like,
No big deal. Just my
like,
skimmer.
that weird thing is not normal. What is that, right? And so that's where I really kind of veered off and going like, okay, wait a minute. There's a bunch more equipment out there that I don't know anything about. That's when I started really like looking into that stuff.
So do you have a rule of thumb for a sump? Like, is bigger always better with a sump, or like do you gauge it by the amount of gallons you have?
It's typically, yeah, but more often than not, like, people can't just go. I mean, you can't get like 1,000-gallon sump. You know what I mean? Most people can't even get. I mean, you could, but most people can't even get like 1,000-gallon aquarium.
Yeah.
They're like, oh man, that's my life dream. So,
so like if you have 125,
it's typically like 3 to 1. So if you have
3 to 1,
yeah, if you have like a 100-gallon tank, you basically would have like a 33 long or something under there, or a 40-gallon breeder. You know, which typically 40-gallon breeders are really commonly used as sumps because they're so cheap.
Yeah.
You know, you get the $1 per gallon sale, and now you got a tank. You can just put whatever you want in it underneath, because it's like, oh, that thing was $40. Like, no big deal. So you see those often converted into sumps and stuff like that. So it's like, that's the easy way to do the math, but most people don't have a 100-gallon tank. It's a really weird shape.
Yeah.
Size. It's a really weird size, realistically. So, but like if you had a 55, you could put a 40 breeder under it like real easy. And then just all your equipment's down below. That's the biggest selling point that I have for most people is like there's no heater, like just
Yeah, it's in the sump
in
hidden.
your tank. Yeah, there's no CO2 diffuser, like blowing stuff around in your
Yeah.
tank. There's nothing, no equipment just hanging down into your tank. So that's always the easy sell for people because they're like, hey, wait a minute, all this stuff can go away and I don't have to look at it anymore. Yeah, so that was always like that's like the easy sell if somebody's like trying to figure out if they want to invest in a sump or not. That was always the easy way to do that. Mm-hmm.
So to this day, all your tanks run off a sump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I find it to be the easiest thing, the easiest way to just really like run my systems in a simple way. Even my reef tank, it's like if my reef tank has evaporation, just top it back up. And it's like super easy. I have a piece of tape on there, and so I just fill it back up to the piece of tape. All right, my salinity's good because the salt doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's that the water evaporates out of the water.
Yep.
And then your salinity starts to go up as water evaporates from the system. The salt doesn't evaporate.
So an auto top off in the refugium or sump is.
I used to have an auto top
Easy
off. I sold
peasy.
it to a guy like a long time ago. When actually you and I were talking about that earlier, where you were like, "Man, you were selling off all your tanks at one point." I was like, "Yeah, I was going to be living on my 2 feet, and I can't really take a tank somewhere."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I sold off all my coral, that was the guy I sold it to. He was like, "You got auto top off over there?" I was like, "Yeah, you want it?"
I'll sell it to you.
Cash talks, bro. Yeah, so
Yeah, so you were going to.
I think I do have an old video of when I got that auto top off. I got it from Marine Depot.
Yeah?
Yeah, and we did like a promotional video on it, which was kind of fun. Yeah, we did
Was
a
that-
promo video.
Was that when you were trying to, like, I remember you were doing, like, a thing where you wanted people to, like, go to a website and vote for your channel to be, like, one of the sponsors or something. Was that competition?
It was just to test.
Yeah.
It was to test stuff out.
I remember that. That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
That was probably at least 4 years ago.
It was more than 4 years ago. I
Yeah.
know that. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So that was pretty fun. That was pretty fun, but they never followed through on the rest of the products they were supposed to send.
No, it was
out.
just one and done.
It was one and another product,
And then it was done.
and then it was done. I think namely because like the auto top off was actually a really good product.
Yeah.
So everyone was like pretty enthusiastic about doing a review video of it. And then the next thing that they sent out, which I'm not going to mention what it was a terrible product. And I sent an email like to the people that made it, and I was like, look. I basically just explained the position I was in, where it's like, I'm supposed to make a video about your product, but I can't find a positive way to make a video
Yeah.
of your product. So I was like,
It was that bad.
it just didn't work.
Yeah.
It was like, it's not broken because it operates, but it doesn't do what you say it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, so I contacted the company and I was like, look, I'll put out a video that just, if you want me to promote your bad product, like if you want. And they were like, no, don't worry. We'll send you a new one. We're redesigning the whole thing. We're aware of the flaws and we're, they're like pulling the product. And so they were like, we'll send you the new one when we have the new redesigned one.
And then it never happened.
That never happened. And those guys dropped off too. Well, maybe they're still around. I don't know. But
I think
they said that
Marine Depot is
I
definitely
think
still
Marine
around.
Depot's still around, but they're like that.
The company that built the product is
That
gone.
company that built the product is gone, and then I don't think Marine Depot does that program anymore. Because I think it was like a guy who was in their sales department or something like that, was like really ambitious and was like trying to institute a new thing, and he just
Never worked.
the company didn't want to do it anymore, which is
Makes
fine.
sense.
I think they make their own videos now, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. How about this? You said that you had a sump on the crystal red tank.
Mm-hmm.
How did you find that a lot of times the shrimp would get down into the sump?
Oh yeah.
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 Was there a way to prevent it, or everything you tried just wasn't working?
I can actually show you on my 150 if you come down.
Yeah.
It's essentially just like the simple way to explain it would be like it's stainless steel screens.
Okay.
That keep them from traveling all the way down to the sump.
Yeah.
But I do like to encourage a little bit of travel down to the sump. I feel like it's natural selection.
Yeah.
You know, like the stupid shrimp are going to end up down here.
Ones
right?
go
The
down
dumb
there.
ones end up down
or
here.
the smart ones, because that's where all the algae would be.
But those are the ones that get sold.
Oh.
So you ain't that bright there.
So if
Mr.
you go to
Shrimp
the
Man.
sump, you're turning into cashola.
Well, you're on the auction block. But maybe the grass is greener. Maybe you're going to maybe the shrimp know they're going to like a better place.
Maybe they're going to a 300
Which
gallon tank.
I don't know how anybody could set up a better environment for those shrimp at this point. It's a 150 gallon tank. It's got I think it's an 80 gallon sump on it.
Oh my gosh.
There's only 2 other fish in there. One male guppy and one female guppy. That's it.
And still to this day, there's crystal reds in there?
No. The crystal reds all died during the big move. I don't know if you remember that. Like all my colonies boiled in a bucket.
That hurts.
When I was moving from Seattle down south. Yeah, that was a bad day.
That was a real bad
It was a really expensive shrimp gumbo that tasted like garbage.
Yeah,
Because it pretty much was
tasted
garbage.
it.
What's that?
You taste it right out of the bucket?
Oh, no, you can smell it.
Oh.
I mean, you could...
It smelled like garbage.
You could taste the smell in your mouth.
Isn't that the worst?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Especially when it's shrimp or something that actually means something to you.
It's like an open sewer pipe. You know, you might not get it in your mouth, but you know you're tasting it.
You know
what I mean?
You know it's there.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, so it was that was a rough day, but there's just, there's no CPR that's going to bring them back. They were cooked.
Speaking of CPR, I've actually done CPR on a fish before.
Have you? What kind of fish?
It was some kind of peacock cichlid.
Okay.
And what happened was my buddy gave it to me. Mm-hmm. He actually gave me his fish tank that it was in. He told me that this one fish was the only one that he wanted to keep, and I had to hold it for like 3 weeks for him until we got his other tank set up. And I put them all in a bucket, and I'm used to shrimp. Like, you can put 1,000 shrimp in a bucket, let them sit there for a day. Yeah. Next day, they're fine. Well, cichlids definitely are not that way. And so I had I want to say I had 8 in a bucket, and I filled it up close to the top and put the lid on. I took it back to my shop. I let it sit for 30 minutes. I popped the top off to start acclimating them. Every single one was upside down.
Really?
And I'm like, no. So I literally got this fish, started blowing in his mouth, and it ended up coming back to life. But what it was is we had
You blew in his mouth with what? Water or air?
No, just air. Just.
How does
It didn't make any sense.
Right.
Looking back, yeah. Looking back on it, it wasn't a wise
So
choice.
you just seduced him back to life. I don't know if that's CPR. That might be. That might be just the passion.
Yeah, it was the passion. The passion
Strong,
got him.
Passionate man.
Oh man. But it was what ended up doing it is
Just be aware out there. If there's a car crash or anything like that, just pull off and just start making
out with the person. They'll come right back to life. Man,
that'd work.
Yeah, it might. Especially if they were unconscious only.
That's passionate.
That is passionate.
That's strong. I like it. It's a strong move.
But
the fish all made it.
It came. No, they didn't all make it. Most of them made it.
Right. Now I'm super depressed.
The one that mattered came back to life.
I was excited, and now I'm depressed.
Yeah, it's like a good story, but also a sad story.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I wonder what was going on in that bucket that they
lack of air
would be affected that badly.
I don't know. I want to say I filled it up too high, so they didn't have enough oxygen.
Well, maybe was it brimming and you threw the lid on there?
So I would say there was a solid 3 inches of non-water at the top, which for shrimp is perfect.
Right.
But for cichlids, it was.
That's odd that the fish. I don't know.
I don't know. It was not a good
conjecture. Day. Maybe there was I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of chemical in there or something causing problems. I
scared them all when I was shaking them around. They all pooped. Ammonia built up and
it could be
croaked. But yeah, it was only it was under an hour and a half that they were in the bucket for sure.
That's a short amount of time. I wonder if there was something in that bucket. That sounds like there was almost something else.
Yeah, could have been. I mean, maybe there was more fish than I'm leading on. Maybe there was 12 fish. That were all over 12 inches.
60,000 fish in one bucket.
There was no water and just fish.
I'm just pushing them in. Right? Get in there.
I mean, it was a 150-gallon tank.
Okay.
Full of cichlids. Right. But it was split amongst 2 buckets.
How big was the bucket?
A 5-gallon bucket.
About this big?
About, if you cut this in half and put a lid on it, that's the size bucket. Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Yeah, that's how you stay hydrated in 2018. I mean, it's you don't... This is 5 gallons.
That is 5 gallons. You're supposed to drink 3 of these a day.
3 of these a day, and you're good.
Yeah, I usually drink at least 3 in a live stream.
3 of them?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to
You
today.
better watch out because this is a 2-hour.
I know.
This is a 2-hour show.
Yeah, I'm not going to drink anymore.
We're
I already feel
gonna
like
have to end it if you have to pee.
I have to pee right now.
Do you?
But I
Just go.
No, I can't
go.
do it. I can't do it.
Just go. But what do you think? What do you think about the studio now that we've accomplished it? You flew across the country to come look at it in person.
I did. So I was actually invited to the
Which-
ribbon cutting service.
Yeah.
Which we did yesterday. I don't think any of us filmed it though.
You showed up late though.
I did show up late.
Super late. Thank you very much. I mean, can you keep it? I mean,
I'm
you
gonna
make an appointment. You should keep it, right?
I'm gonna have to blame this one on Delta. So
Which is pretty easy to do.
It's very easy to do. They had some. I mean, the long story short, the temperature got below 40 in Georgia, and everything shuts down when that happens.
Right.
And so, no offense to anyone that is from Florida. I hope you don't have family from there. Or, I actually have family from there. I don't think they would mind.
I mean, there's a lot of people from Florida.
Yeah, but this is Georgia we're talking about,
Or Georgia.
in Atlanta.
I mean, I don't
But
know.
yeah, so it was frigid cold anyway. We had like a 4-hour delay
They
because
don't.
of it.
I mean, I wouldn't expect people from Georgia to even know what snow looked like,
Yeah, I mean,
let alone like what to do if it was falling on your airplane.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
The runway was, slick.
Yeah. You're like, we have an airport here, and something's wrong with it. It's all like brightly white colored.
Yeah, it's just, I don't even know if it
And
snowed.
they're like, yeah, you got to get out there and plow it, and they're like, plow?
They saw this white cloud when they breathed, and they ran back inside.
It's problematic. That is weird that'd be going on in Georgia, though. That's not normal at all.
Yeah, I called Delta because I was like all nervous about my connecting flight. I knew I was going to miss it. And they said due to the extreme weather throughout the United States that, you're going to have to call back in a couple days. And I'm like, really? I didn't know there was extreme weather. And then I looked it up, and the South, they were just getting cold temperatures. And
That's super crazy.
Shut
'cause
everybody
I know
down.
a bunch of shipping and stuff has been screwed up.
oh, yeah, and that's
And
why.
we were like looking at it, and we were going like looking at like the national weather, and you're going like, yeah, it's cold in Ohio, but like it's always cold in Ohio. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean extreme weather? And that's like, oh, it's snowing in Kentucky. Like, yeah,
Typical.
It's normal. I don't know, but apparently Georgia is frozen. Which
Yeah,
is that is
Georgia's
not normal.
frozen. I'm sure Florida's frozen.
Climate change, bro.
It's getting there.
We're gonna have to deal with it. What's our way out though if the climate change is real? Do we just move to the North Pole?
So if the climate changes
Just-
for real,
we like move to the North Pole and just hunt moose and run away from polar bears and stuff.
I'll probably stay in Ohio and hunt guinea pigs or something like that. Keeping it
Like
real.
just going guinea pigs, keeping it real.
You
There's
gotta
a
do
lot
what
of
you gotta
guinea
do.
pig farming out there. You gotta bear that in mind.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's a little bit odd because I've only ever known them as little pets.
Yeah.
You know,
And cute
like these
little-
little pets that people keep.
I mean, everyone's had a guinea pig.
Right?
Have you?
No,
Oh, okay.
but everyone. Yeah.
Everyone has though.
Yeah.
At some point in their life, you just
Yeah.
haven't got there yet.
I mean, like the neighbor kids did. I didn't
Oh,
have one
okay.
myself. I had dogs, like an adult,
Interesting.
and a chameleon.
How about fish?
I had fish.
Did you?
Yeah, I had
when you were
Fred.
young?
I had Fred, and Fred, and then came Fred.
So
and
every
then-
time Fred died, Fred revived himself.
Yeah.
He was just a different color.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
he was the same color, passing off as Fred.
Well, I had a lot of goldfish.
Ooh, the feeder goldfish.
So back then, you got to think. I mean, I think that was.
I mean, that was back in the 50s.
I mean, yeah, it was a while ago.
that was before, there were mollies and stuff.
A while back, about 70,000 years ago. Okay, and we had to, keep ourselves warm. We had to brush these rocks together, and I had this goldfish. But yeah, when I was a little kid, I kept having Fred 1, Fred 2, but I knew it was Fred 1 and Fred 2 and Fred 3 and Fred 4. Like I named them that. Like that's Fred,
Really?
that's Fred the 4th.
Obviously.
And so funny story. I think it was Fred the 5th. I'm not sure. I'd have to check with my mom, but my mom sent me away to, I believe it was equestrian camp.
Wow.
If you're aware,
Horseback rider.
Horseback riding, right?
Now, is this English style or is this cowboy style?
It's cowboy style, mountain,
Okay.
in the woods,
Sorry to insult you.
woods, hills, right?
Now that's living.
There's no dancing. That's not like the horse dancing. What is that called?
Well, there's a lot of things.
Where the horse is like, hoot, 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 hoot.
I know
What's
there's.
that? Have you seen that? I've
I
seen
have
that. I
seen
don't know
it.
what it's called. And then there's like the
It's like-
steeplechase, right? Like a jumping over stuff.
No, you're going beyond my understanding now.
What about the chariot thing? Have you ever seen that?
I watched The Gladiator one time.
You watched the Gladiator?
Featuring
Featuring
Marcus Aurelius.
Russell Crowe. And Marcus Aurelius.
Marcus
what
Aurelius.
Was his? Oh, he was just this. He was like he was the gladiator, right? Like in that.
Yeah, he was the commander of the Fourth Legion.
The Spaniard. They called him the Spaniard.
Yeah.
But then, like, he had a name, but I can't remember what his name was.
Marcus Aurelius.
Marcus Aurelius was the guy. Was the emperor.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
And then the hair lip guy was his kid, whatever his name is.
Maximus.
Maximus? What? We need Jimmy's help. Yeah, what happened here, Jimmy?
Jimmy, explain
What's
the Gladiator movie to us.
I'm pretty sure it's Maximus.
Maximus? Who is Maximus?
Maximus Decimus Aurelius or something like that. Aurelius.
All right, that's pretty close.
Okay, so we were all kind of right.
Sort of wrong, but yeah.
Right. So moving on, you went to a horseback riding
Anybody
camp.
see that movie? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went to that camp, and my fish died while I was gone.
Oh, Fred.
Right. But Fred didn't die of natural causes.
No.
No.
You poisoned him before you left.
Oh, I poisoned him? No. Actually, my mom and my sister, they basically took everything out of my room, right,
Yeah.
to clean it, and then put everything back in.
Except for the fish tank.
I was kind of a disaster child, so there was often like MacGyver-style projects to like, extract electricity from the wall and like create a new train system that ran off of a different electrical current,
Exactly.
So they took all that stuff out. I did blow up the wall one day.
And is this how Fred died?
No. Well, This is how Fred died when they took everything out. They didn't realize what proper fish tank maintenance, what they were supposed to do.
Oh, they clean everything out of it?
They cleaned the tank.
Ooh. We've all been there before.
Like they probably bleached it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Fred V didn't make it. Okay.
No.
So they took Fred V to the fish store to get a replacement.
Oh no, they actually took him and said, "This is what we need."
They took the corpse with them. Like I don't know. These people can hardly be trusted, right? They're
Yeah.
just carrying
And this
around
is your mom and sister.
bodies. Yeah, they went down there and they went to match up Fred with a fish that they had,
Yeah.
so they could pull the old switcheroo on me.
And it didn't work.
Actually, it did work because I was pretty young. So when I got back, you want to know what my reaction was?
What?
Oh my God. Fred is so much bigger than he was when I left. What did you feed him?
What did you do?
Look at how much he grew. He's doing awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty funny. And
When did they break it to you?
You know the funny...
2 years later.
2 years ago.
No way.
Yeah.
You've been living a lie your whole life.
They've been living a lie.
Oh.
I misunderstood what happened. Mom was fibbing. Guilt. It was just weighing heavy on her conscience. Probably 25 years later, she had to come clean. You know what I mean?
Don't you hate when that
30
happens?
years later.
What was your reaction?
I was disappointed. Very.
Oh my gosh.
It's a pretty funny story.
That is
I mean,
funny.
it's sad that the fish died. I mean, let's be
Obviously,
real.
yeah.
But it is pretty funny how I thought that he grew.
He grew
like
overnight,
that
like,
much, like just
big time.
like week and a half.
Yeah.
What, like doubled in size. I guess he was all bloated and dead, right? So he must have gotten bigger.
Yeah.
So they tried to match him up. And
Now, let me ask you
figure
this.
that, like the fish store owner would have known what was going on.
But no.
No,
They were probably in on it.
probably. Come to think of it, they
Yeah.
probably wanted to make that $4.
They probably, well,
Those-
yeah, it's terrible.
Those greedy fish salesmen, right?
I know.
I know.
A few of them.
If only there was one here that we could talk to, like a guy who owns Flip Aquatics.
Wow.
What?
That was a twist. I didn't know you were going that direction. Yeah, that was a big flip.
I got you. He's got punked, bro.
Oh, man.
That's pretty good.
But so, hey, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we talked about you going, like, living on your, like, going and doing the Appalachian Trail. You did horseback riding. Is that how you got into fish, like, officially? Like, you like the natural aspect of it?
Yeah,
Or no?
I mean, when I was a kid, that stuff's always interested me. Like agriculture and all that kind of stuff. And that was one of the reasons that I went into being a chef. Really, is like one of those reasons I went there. Is that trying to figure out like sustainable cooking practices and all that kind of stuff. And
really,
the environment worked for me because you work 16 hours a day. Like you just go there and do that.
And that's what you do
all the time, and then that's what you do.
Yeah.
So it being a pretty heavy environment like that, but if you combine those two, like, so keeping plants and then food, right? You combine those two. In my head, I go, okay, well, how do I reverse engineer that, right?
Yeah.
So I go like, oh, this lettuce needs to go in. Like, let's say there's a specific lettuce I need to feed my chickens because I want to eat chicken, right? Well, how do I actually like grow that? And if you, for instance, maybe you live somewhere in Ohio, right, that you just have like a whole bunch of land and you kind of go, okay, I want to plant it in the ground. Well, that's all fine and dandy, and you could probably do fairly well after a couple of seasons of just figuring out like, oh, I stick it in the ground in late March and then water it and blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
But if you live somewhere like in the city, what are you going to do if that's something that you want to do and you have a limited amount of space, right? That's when I started getting into aquaponic systems and going like, how can a fish tank attached to an aquaponic system help somebody who lives in a limited amount of space? Like I say you have like a 1,200 square foot apartment and you have like a balcony and you have like a parking spot downstairs. There's a lot of people that live in that environment these days.
A lot.
Right? So how could we, and like, there's no way that I could take that person and go like, hey bro, you know what you need to do? Change your whole lifestyle. Change your career, like go back in time and go to college and get like a super good job and then work at it for like 10, 15 years and then buy a farm somewhere and then go live in the country. I mean,
you could.
It doesn't do anything. No. I mean, trust me, if I had a time machine, boy, howdy.
Boy, would you do things differently, huh?
I'd go live with the dinosaurs.
Yeah?
That's what I'd do. It'd be a wild time.
Only for like a day, though. Then you'd be T-Rex food,
Sometimes you got to just take it all the way up a notch, right? All the way up to the top. 11. You go all the way up to 11. Maybe you only get one day living with the dinosaurs, but you'd be that guy.
But it would be the best day.
It'd be the best day. Oh, my God. Everything's poisonous here.
How did we get here?
But in my head, the things that started interesting me was a lot of people have a 20, a 40, a 55-gallon aquarium in their apartment, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like necessarily a part of their living environment. It's just kind of there. It's like, and oftentimes, like if you go to people's places, you see like, oh, there's like a fish in it, and that's kind of it. And you're like, you're using a big part of of the real estate of that living space, right? And you're not really utilizing it.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, in my opinion, you could take that small spot, you could turn it into an aquaponic system, still have the display portion where you could have your cool fish swimming around, check out your fish, but not only with that, you could attach it into an aquaponic system that could grow stuff from even in your little apartment space.
Yeah.
Right? Which not only could shorten the distance between some of the food that you eat, but it could also, by extension, educate people in a real hands-on situation where, they plant something in there and it grows and something is actually happening. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's sort of where my brain went of like, how do I keep evolving in this instead of getting bored? Because that's the kind of person I am.
So is this where you are now?
I start getting super bored. Because I'm like, well, I feel like I've got this handled. Yeah.
How can
Maybe
I
I
keep this up?
should learn how to fly helicopters. And it's like,
or build studios,
or build a studio, right?
Well, not studios. I mean,
right.
This could turn into something big.
We can better start just building studios everywhere so that people can put together.
Next big project is turning the garage.
Everyone's going to be on YouTube before you know it.
It's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time. I heard Amazon's like starting up a new deal. Did you hear about that?
Really? I did not hear about that.
I don't know. We'll see if they actually follow through on it, or if old Jeff Bezos out there is just dropping rumors on people. I still haven't seen my new Canon camera from Jeff either. I mean, I keep saying, hey, Jeff, go ahead and send the camera over.
Doesn't do it.
Where it at? I don't know.
Wow.
I can't wait for my electric drone human delivery device so I can fly places.
I mean, wouldn't that be nice?
Would be
Amazon next, like 2-hour delivery.
You just Amazon yourself
Yeah.
places.
Just ship yourself across the country.
Well, you're just like, hey, man, I got to get to Portland real quick.
Like boom, boom.
I got an appointment, and I'm going to show up on time. And I'm not going to leave it to Delta because we can't leave it to Delta.
Yeah, I don't know who would do that, but probably not an intelligent person. You know.
I'll tell you, last time I flew Delta, they had a flat tire.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's what they told you.
That's what they told us. It was lies.
Oh, it's complete lies. They just, pilot's sleeping or has a hangover.
Oh, the flight crew showed up, like, strangely.
Just as the flat tire was fixed.
Oh, we fixed the flat tire. Oh. Was it those guys that just went running by?
Yeah. Oh. But it all works. I'm here now.
They could have just said the flight crew's not here.
They could have, and then everyone would have been even
Everyone
more
been like-
upset. I mean, put it this way. The people that were waiting in line with me, the person in front of me was like trying to get home and had been like their flight got delayed yesterday, so it got
Right.
moved till today. They got delayed again, and they were trying to get home. The person behind me, they had 2 connecting flights to get to Hawaii, and they told them that, hey, we can't get you on any other flights, so you're gonna have to wait until tomorrow. So they lost a whole day of their vacation. Another lady lost her, or she was late to her son's wedding. Which why you would fly the same day as your son's wedding, I don't know, but there was.
That's weird, man. I don't know. Maybe they had to CPR some fish back to life,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Look,
Well, CPR. I mean,
I got to bring these fish back to life, and then I'll get on the plane for my son's wedding." You know, your priorities.
could have happened.
You got to keep them straight.
Yeah. Or they could have built a studio beforehand. Yeah. Jeez.
But I did, I do other things. I did a different thing this one time.
Yeah.
I know
Few
it's like
times?
all in front of you right now. It's all happening right
Yeah.
now. You're just trying to take it in.
I mean, if you guys, if you could be here right now, I mean, just to.
I am here.
Well, I know, but there's some people that aren't. If everyone, in the whole world could be here right now, they would just be like flabbergasted
They'd be flabbergasted.
at the studio. Yeah, oh yeah, like speechless. I mean, just look at it.
It's pretty good.
I mean, this table, like, oh,
I know the final pour's not on it yet.
that's all right.
You can't see that on the camera though.
No, the camera, it's perfect. But every time I put my hand down, I get a scratch.
Right? Are you bleeding yet?
No,
No?
not yet.
Okay, I'll get you a Band-Aid. If you
I'm not
need
that
it.
sensitive.
All right. So I wanted to make sure that if, just in case, because we got a couple of minutes before we get to the super chats and we get to some other stuff, and we may or may not have a special guest on a special guest.
Wow.
How's that for
Somebody's
you?
going to sit on my
How's
lap?
that for a Friday? Is there a special guest on a special guest episode? Does the special guest bring in a special guest on a special guest so that the special guest can show up on a special guest episode, but only on a Friday?
Yeah, I did bring my cichlid that I brought back to life.
You did?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Well, it's our special guest.
Oh, that's it? To go.
Yep.
It's not, well, at least if it's not a ghost fish, I'll be all right.
Okay, yeah,
I can't be
it's-
dealing with no ghosts, you know what I'm saying?
No, that'd be bad.
You know, my new house, it's got them ghosts in it.
Does it really? How
It's
many?
not a new house. I'm just the new resident. You know what I'm saying?
You're blowing my
Some
mind.
of them
right
have been
now.
living there forever. Okay. I don't know. I don't know where they came from. I don't know how to send them back to where they came from. But these ghosts, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Is that why you've been here so much?
Yeah, I'm freaked out. I can't go back there. Except for tonight. I'll go back tonight.
I mean, Vicky would not be happy if you.
Vicky wouldn't be happy with that.
Uh-uh.
No. Actually, I wouldn't say that it's like ghosts. It's just an old house. You
It
know?
just creaks a lot.
Yeah, just every once in a while, you're like, what the?
What was that?
Well, the easy explanation is a ghost,
Yeah.
right? Because ghosts.
What's the hard explanation?
Ghosts haven't been proven to like actually kill people. So you're like, if you're like, hey, it's a ghost, chances are it's probably not a murder ghost, right?
I mean, odds are in your favor.
Yeah, odds
for
are in
sure.
my favor, right? And then, but if it's a person, there's a much higher percentage that they're a murderer. You know what I mean?
I know who it is.
Like if they're like not supposed to be in the building and there's like a person there, generally that's a pretty high percentage of like, oh, that's a murderer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's not good.
Yeah. I'm still convinced it's Frank.
Oh, it's Dominguez? Well, he's not a murderer.
No.
He's just everywhere.
Frank the Fifth. Or Fred.
Oh, Fred. Oh, it's Fred the Fifth?
You sorry, I didn't tell you his nickname was Frank.
I was trying to say, because it must be Frank Dominguez, because he's always first to the chat. But he lives in the attic.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
You
he
rent
lives
the
in my
space
attic.
out
He's
to
a
him?
real person. He's all right.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's not a problem.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. I mean, he won't do any water changes or anything. Like, I'm like, dude, what up? Free rent and everything. Like, at least do some maintenance.
Yeah.
He refuses, though. Politely.
You just got to build in a maintenance machine.
I'm working on it. I was
does
up
water
here building
changes
this maintenance machine.
I know. No water changes here.
Automated.
Automated.
But
I need to do that.
where do the automated water changes come from?
No one will ever
You can't
know.
tell anymore. You
No.
just don't even know. I guess you'd have to look at the Aquarium Co-op channel, because I think he put a video up of it.
He did.
I think so.
But you probably wouldn't be able to find it now.
Not now. Now it's hidden.
Yeah.
It's obstructed from view, as they like to say.
Actually, I can see it from here.
Can you?
I can't. Well, kind of.
Okay,
I can see parts of it.
there's a hang down over there.
There is a little hang down.
Shh, don't worry about that hang down.
Okay. I'll pretend like I never saw
Don't
it.
worry about that hang down.
All right. Well,
Hopefully my fat head's in the way or something. Nobody will notice
you
it.
got a fat head?
No, not really.
I've
It's
been there
fine.
before.
I like it's more figurative.
Well, in that sense, then yes,
Yeah.
you do.
There is one thing I wanted to mention today, and I don't want to get this name wrong, so I'm going to look it up real quick. Look at me being slow, looking things up on my phone. Guys, I got too many emails.
That's all right.
Uh,
At least you respond to yours.
at least I respond to mine. You don't. Mandy Smith.
Mandy Smith.
Mandy Smith for the hashtag. What is it? What did we decide? Is it plaid? Team plaid?
Team Plaid.
Team plaid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one of my subscribers sent me brand new plaid for Friday's
Wait, is that
show.
it?
Yeah, it's a brand new plaid.
Mandy sent you that.
Mandy Smith.
Wow.
So big
Mandy,
shout out.
feel free to subscribe to Flip Aquatics.
Yeah.
I like plaid. Starting today.
Starting today, he's
Yeah.
hashtag Team Plaid.
Hashtag Team Plaid.
Team Plaid. That's good. But yeah, I want to say quick thanks to Mandy for that. And I also want to mention that if anybody has checked out the Patreon, if they haven't checked out the Patreon, go check it out. It has a lot of ups and very little downs.
No downs.
No real downs, except for the mobile app can sometimes be finicky. Sometimes you can't do things from your mobile app,
Yeah.
which is really the only downside to it. It's how we fan fund these projects and stuff like this, so I'm able to fill up my gas tank every day, unlike most Oregonians who have a problem with seeming to figure it out at this point, but they'll get there. They're
We'll get
coming
there.
along. But filling up my gas tank every day to drive up here to do things like this, like build this project and bring, I didn't pay for Rob to come out here, but I just kept crying until he showed up.
Yeah.
That was really like tears of,
I mean, don't tell Corey.
it's like tears of summoning.
yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I caught them all.
It's probably like a World of Warcraft thing or something, right? The tears
The
of summoning.
No, it's a Hearthstone.
Is it?
Yeah, but you were close.
Was that close?
Well, I guess it technically wouldn't be a Hearthstone because that would just take you home.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could summon somebody.
Where's Jeff Bezos? We need him to make one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
How cool would that be? You're just like, "Ring," and then you go home.
Who
I
would we?
guess that's
If we have the
teleportation.
ability to summon somebody,
That's teleportation. Star Trek. So maybe we need Shatner to figure it out.
we need
right?
we need Scotty. Right? Beam me up, Scotty. That's before your time. Sorry.
Yeah. The original or the new one? Oh, gotta ask you. Original Star Trek, Star Trek Next Generation, or the new Star Trek?
Well, personally, because it's my generation, I
Right.
enjoy the new one.
Okay.
I think it's really well done. I haven't personally watched the old ones.
You haven't watched the old ones?
No.
All right.
They're on. I believe they're on Hulu or Netflix.
The originals?
The originals. Oh
Did
no,
you
it
watch
might
the-
be Next Generation.
What about the Next Generation one with Jean-Luc Picard?
I didn't see
That's
it.
that. Who's that guy? Played Professor Xavier in
Yeah,
the X-Men and stuff. What's his name?
I don't remember. I'm bad with names.
Right.
Oh.
But that's good. So you're just going straight with a new one.
Yeah,
Probably because it's got the Beastie Boys in it,
yeah.
right?
I don't know.
You don't know that?
I don't know who the Beastie Boys are.
You don't know who the Beastie... You can't wink at me. You're on camera.
Oh, they can't see that.
They can't see that.
All right.
Hashtag Team Crispy, man. They can see. They know what's up.
Hashtag Team Crispy.
They know what's up. They know what's happening. I can't read the chat today.
Yeah,
But
it's
we're
probably a
13
good thing. We'd be
We're
in
13
trouble.
minutes away. I don't even know if we got any super chats, but 13 minutes away, we're going to answer people's super chats. So if you want to get them in, now would be the time. And you'll actually get... Here's a cool thing that I'm going to be able to utilize for today. Jimmy's going to read them.
Wow. So, to hear Jimmy's voice speak your words, drop a super chat now.
Right.
Right?
It's going to be cool.
I mean, people pay a lot of money for
Hold
that.
on, guys.
What?
Super chat is broken today.
Is it broken?
Oh, it's working now? Okay, yeah. Some people complaining that the super chat was broken, but
Oh.
it tends to be working now. Someone test that.
So Super Chat was just completely broken and we didn't have any? Oh. Well, that's all right.
Well, we got...
Well, we have two.
If people are...
We have two.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. Well, there's only 2 today.
Is that not enough?
It's not that it's not enough. That just seems like a low number as compared to usual.
Gotcha.
Then
What's the most super chats you ever had in 1 hour?
I have no idea.
Really?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
Like 20?
Probably 20, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know how many... I don't know. I don't keep... I
The
don't,
highest number, though.
what's the highest number?
Corey's 500.
Corey
Oh,
dropped a $500
Corey's-
super chat?
$4.95, actually.
Really?
Yeah, $495 super chat. And here's the funny thing. Actually, funny story behind that. This is like before anything really got going. So Corey is the record holder right now for the biggest super chat, which was $495 because he accidentally super chatted a $5 before that. 500 is the most you can put in that'll allow you to put in, right? But he did a $5 super chat before that, so when we let him do $4.95, right?
Yeah.
So technically, there is like a $4. Is it $4 or $5? I guess it's a $5 window that people could get in to be the highest super chat around. And the next highest one that I know is Melissa Blue was $137.
Holy
which
smokes.
was like last week or something like that. So that's why I remember.
That's crazy. I mean, people pay for, good company.
Good company, hang out.
Yeah, that's probably why you're not getting good super chats today.
That's probably must be it. They're like, I'm not Flip Aquatics.
Oh,
What is this?
Warren, Ohio.
Right.
This guy's
So
rusty.
I did want to ask you a couple questions because I know
Okay.
that you were Lup Diesel before. So I recognize that you've been around. You were around. You were researching. You were asking questions in the middle of the night. I recall.
Yeah.
I recall getting some of those questions in the middle of the night.
Yeah?
Like, what's this guy talking about? He's weird. But I do want to know what was the big day that you decided to like I'm going to be the guy that's jumping into shrimp business. I'm going to do this thing. And how did that kind of come to evolve?
Wow. So,
Because I think most people would understand, like, you get an idea and it's kind of rattling around, right?
yeah.
And you're like, oh, maybe I'll do this thing. Oh, maybe I'll do that thing. Da, 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 da. But what was the day where you were like, that's it. I'm going. I'm doing it.
So I actually remember the day. I remember thinking and talking about it in a video, an older video, that, there's no good place to buy shrimp. Like, there were a couple good ones, and then they were in and out. In America, in the United States.
Right.
And I would order shrimp, and they would do bad and all these things. And so I was talking about it to my subscribers. And I remember a guy messaging me. I think it was Jay Weiser. And he was like, hey, like, I really believe in somebody in the United States making this happen, breeding them. And I think it's really needed. And I think, like, I remember him, like, kind of talking it up.
What happened to Jay Weiser? I haven't seen him.
I don't
in a
know.
long
I haven't
time.
seen him in a while.
What happened? Oh, okay. Anyhow, continue. Sorry.
He might be watching.
He might be watching.
But yeah, he was just talking about how, like, he's so passionate about this idea, not of me doing it or of anything else, but just of having, like, someone that was just passionate about providing quality and, like, keeping in the United States and breeding them here. And after the conversation with him, I was like, you know what? I agree with everything that he said. And I was like, and there's no place to buy shrimp. So I was like, I just kind of connected the dots. I'm like, why not be that person?
Right.
Like, and that's how all great ideas come to happen. Is you need something and you can't find it, and then you're like, well, I might as well make it. And so for me, it was just I needed to buy healthy shrimp. I wanted to buy healthy shrimp, and I couldn't, and so I wanted to be the need that I needed.
Or fill the need.
Fill the need.
Fill the need?
Oh, be the need sounds better.
Fill the need with Flip Aquatics.
With Flip Aquatics.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So how many so you guys have a fairly decent sized facility right now.
Yeah.
Right? You have like a warehouse and a couple separate rooms and stuff like that. And
Yep.
I know everybody probably always asks a question of like, well, how many species you got? Or like, how many tanks you got now? And I know that you probably can't answer that off the top of your head.
Yeah.
This is a little nutty. You're like, 412, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we do get a lot. When I just had one room, I knew it was 96 tanks,
Right.
for sure. But now we have 2 rooms, and we're working on the 3rd. And so I would say by the time it's all said and done, we don't have as many tanks because we started going towards ponds. But I would say right now we have roughly like 160 tanks,
Okay.
and then 7 big ponds, and then the room we're adding on, we're going to add on 30 more tanks or 30 more ponds, and 40 more tanks.
Okay.
So we'll have about 200 tanks.
So
and about 40
what would
ponds.
be some of the main species of like dwarf shrimp that you guys are super excited about like right now?
So
Like what's something that's blowing your mind every time
So
you
one
walk by
thing,
it?
one thing
'Cause
we're
you might
working
be like
on.
you might be like, oh, cherry shrimp, whatever.
Yeah,
And
I
I'd
mean,
be like, I like mine because when I walk past them, they're the only ones I got now. So I'm like, oh, hey buddies, how you doing?
yeah, cherry shrimp are great. They're always the one that gets people into the hobby,
Oh yeah.
and so they're great. They're always going to be great. But the one that we're working on the most right now is Caridina Taiwan bee. So all the different types of Taiwan bees. And the reason that we're doing that is we saw, again, another need. There was really nobody in the United States selling the, like, not higher end shrimp, but like the next stage of shrimp. Because for so long we worked on beginner shrimp. Because all we wanted to do is grow the hobby. That was our 100% goal.
Right.
And now all the people that started with us 3 years ago are like, hey, like, you know, I've done the cherry shrimp, I've done the blue dreams, I've done the yellows, I've done the tigers. Like, I want something that's going to challenge me. And so as our customer base grows and increases their level of expertise, we want to grow with them. And so our big push is Taiwan bees now. So we're doing more of like, you know, the generic ones, which are like the blue bolts, the pandas, the red King Kongs, black King Kongs. And now we're even taking it one step further and getting in the higher dollar stuff, which we actually just had an auction of ice diamond galaxy shrimp,
Okay.
which we sold a pair of, which is the highest dollar shrimp we've ever sold.
Hold on, let me guess. $184,000.
No, close.
Oh, okay.
I mean, take a couple decimal points out of there. And,
Oh man,
yeah.
how much
Well,
they sell for?
We sold a pair it was $705.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
That's a good day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, because we posted the auction, it was, you know, start at $5, then $5 increments. And I remember thinking, like, you know, we're going to lose on this. It is what it is. And
So you bought them for $6 then, right?
so actually what happened is we didn't buy them.
Yeah.
They were sent to us for the sole purpose of putting them up as an auction.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And so Selene is the person we
oh,
get
so
our
you
shrimp
actually
from.
followed through.
We actually followed through. We didn't keep the shrimp, even
That's
though I
pretty
wanted
cool.
to, because they were buried. And I don't know
There have
about
been a
you.
few conversations recently about some certain people that don't necessarily follow through.
Really?
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
But
me
anyway,
neither.
moving on, shrimp.
I was
So-
actually just making up a story.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Okay. I was actually just
I
pretending.
didn't have anything.
I was pretending that I knew what you were
I was
talking
like,
about.
Einstein, he's screwing up.
So
all
we're
the
just
time.
on the same page, you
Yeah.
know? Anyway.
Who were those sent out by, though?
What do you
Who
mean?
was it? Who sent those out? Was it?
So,
Can we say who it was?
yeah, so
Is it secret?
we actually shipped them, and they were sent to us through our import, which
Okay.
we get from Selene. He's one of the world's top breeders of rare shrimp. I mean, he does like all the generic stuff too, but
In
Taiwan.
Taiwan. Okay, cool.
So there's like, I want to say there's like 6 really well known. There's actually 2 like top breeders of shrimp in the world, and I would say him and another one are the top 2. And so they're always going back and forth, and so he's developing things that the other company isn't, and then they're just kind of competing for it.
One's winning for a while, and then the other.
Yeah,
one's
they're
winning
up
for
and
a
down,
while.
up and
Yeah,
down.
That's fine. Well, yeah, I think one of the things that most people I think are always confused by, and that would be that like I don't understand why this shrimp is so expensive, right?
Yeah.
And like the simple explanation is, I think, and I might be wrong here, that you have to import it. So first you have to have a license, then you have to pay for this to be essentially overnighted from the other side of the planet.
Yep.
I mean, give or take however many thousand miles, whatever.
Yep.
But you have to have it overnighted, which is extremely expensive. I mean, you're essentially paying for a whole bunch of plane tickets. for
Yeah,
the shrimps,
exactly.
Then you have to go pick them up. Then you have to acclimate them. Then you have to actually hold on to them long enough to go, okay, these shrimp flew to the other side of the planet. Now we got to get them to survive in Ohio in the old Rust Belt.
Yeah, in the old Rust Belt.
So then you could, in turn, turn around and sell them to somebody else.
So you actually brought up a great point. The most expensive point of getting the shrimp and reselling them is we do a 30-day quarantine. And that's like going back to our original conversation of how I got into it is I always wanted to raise the bar. I wanted to be the difference that I wanted to see. And so we get the imported shrimp in, we quarantine them for 30 days, which is like unheard of in our hobby, in our industry, is nobody wants to hold on to live animals for 30 days and just watch the money that they spend just disappear because, in 30 days, shrimp die. I mean, it's just all live animals. You're going to have weak ones that were in the bag and maybe there's an ammonia spike and things like that. And so we hold them for 30 days before we ship them, and then we wait until they're actually healthy. So, like, let's say they're not healthy in 30 days. We'll wait until they're actually healthy before we sell them.
And that's also one of those things that I think oftentimes, like, let's just use like some really standard numbers so that the math doesn't get all weird.
Yeah.
But like, let's say you import them for $1.
Yep.
Like $1 shrimp, and you get 1,000 of them, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to hold them for a month, which costs money.
Yep.
Especially in a professional setting. That's not the word, but a business setting, right?
Yeah.
You have to pay for your employees and power and all that kind of stuff. So that adds up. And then even, let's just say half of them die. That's where you start ending up getting, and that's where people start going like, well, I don't understand why this shrimp is $18. And you're like, well, here
this
you go.
Is why.
You start breaking it down, and then you go, well, what's the value of that $18? It's like all this work, flying around the planet, bagging them up, acclimating them, a bunch of them not making it, a bunch of them being fed, all that kind of stuff. So, and I do know like part of your long term is to actually just be breeding here.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the ultimate goal if it's possible.
Okay.
Right now, like
it's possible.
Anything is possible.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's certainly possible though, right?
But it may be possible.
Okay.
So here's the thing: is like breeding them here is so expensive because you have to raise them up, you have to get them big, they have to look good. People don't want ugly shrimp, and then
maybe I do.
By the time maybe I'll give you some. But by the time they're ready to sell, I mean, a shrimp that costs $18 now might be $50 by the time it's all said and done. And if no one wants to pay $50 for it, then it never worked.
Right.
And so it's one of those things. And so, yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff like with importing the shrimp, and then you have some dye. Another big expense that we have is we guarantee them 100%.
Right.
So like every shrimp that we sell.
What if I just call you up and tell you they're all infertile?
I've never had that before. I mean,
good idea for the internet.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah. Use that one.
They couldn't prove it anyhow.
No.
They couldn't prove it.
You couldn't do it.
I know. We're 30 seconds away from jumping into some super chats with old Jiminy McJiminy. And we do have to bear in mind who is our special guest today for the special guest Friday. Because I think we have two. Not only are you my special guest,
we have
for sure.
One.
We have another special guest. And then I don't know, do we have a third and fourth special? I don't even know how many special guests.
Maybe we'll just keep bringing special guests in.
We'll just keep bringing them in, right?
Yeah, because I mean they are kind of a big deal.
It's like, because I know if we bring in a special guest and they don't have enough beard, right? We're definitely going to have to offset some bearding at some point.
Well, this is who are you and what are you doing here?
Are you from the internet?
I'm here to represent the internet. They would like their super chats answered and this nut right here tightened up. Both of those things, please. No, I just came here to bring. This thing's not.
We can get some action on it.
All right.
Here
It's
we
still. Oh.
Uh-oh.
I'm just here to bring the chair.
You're here to fix our
Yeah.
mic so it doesn't turn
Apparently,
like
I
that.
got to fix the mic too and this nut, but yes. What's the first super chat, Jimmy?
All right, so we're going through the super chats. Let me finish talking about super chats, and you guys get, because I don't know how the echo is going to be like. So Rob Hicks for $5 Canadian. Great studio, guys. Great job. Best wishes for the future.
Wow. And who's
KG, $2.46. New studio's looking fresh. I like it. Potato, $5. Testing. Nope, doesn't seem to be working. Oh well. Dorkula with a $5 super chat. Hey Noodle Legs, describe the vibe of the new studio. It's electrifying. John's Fish Lounge, $2 for the surprises. 54 punchy. I just ordered drake fin barbs and some daisy rice fish. I'm broke now. Aquarium Co-op with a $20 super chat. Stay tuned for more live streams events this weekend. More guests.
That's right.
That's the biggest super chat today.
More get today.
$5.55 from Vexing Cat. Thank you.
Oh,
No
that's the
comment there.
555.
Have you had a lot of coffee today, Jimmy?
Yes.
He's going real fast.
You're reading
I didn't
really
even hear
fast.
that.
There's micro
There's a lot.
machines
There's a
over
lot.
there.
So
I know
I'm
that
trying to get through them.
Dorkula threw one in there.
Are there more?
And was talking about noodle legs. If
Lars
anybody's
K.
confused, who's confused about noodle legs, that's Jimmy.
Lars K with $2 super chat. Thanks for the knowledge. Robert Merle, $5 super chat. Hey Rob, all the shrimp arrived okay. Thanks for all your help. Joel, the studio looks great.
Yeah. Robert Merle.
I have to
There you
go
go.
pee.
Tim Lewis
I
with
had to
$5
Get out of
super
here,
chat.
yes.
Go.
Jimmy gets a makeup comment. Ravishing.
Ravish.
Kevin Keener with the $5.55 super chat. Just wanted Jimmy to mention his sexy calves.
Ooh, sexy calf Jimmy.
$10. Hermes Borgnino. $10 euros.
That's
My
Ernest-
bad, bro. Utterance.
That's Ernest Borgnine.
Oh!
Or nine.
Joel, did you grab
Manny
my
S
leg?
with a Canadian $20 super chat. Beat Corey. I don't want Rob to feel left out. Plaid shirt fund. And the last super chat, $30 Canadian.
Whoa.
Whoa.
From Cute Nicks. Coffee money. Thanks for all you do, gentlemen.
I guess we know how we're getting some more Mr. Brown.
We got to get more Mr. Brown.
We
need more-
do. We're out.
We need more coffee.
That's where we're going after this.
Well, yeah, that's where we're going after this. Well, thank you everybody for the super chats. Very much appreciate it. It doesn't seem to be any super chat questions. I guess we're just answering so much stuff today that people are just contributing to the helping out and getting more guests on here. And speaking of more guests on here, do
Is
we
somebody
know?
pulling on your leg?
I think somebody touched.
I
my
thought it
leg.
was you.
I think somebody
So-
was touching my leg.
Our special guest was canceled. I guess Delta couldn't arrive on time.
Yeah, I believe so.
So I guess it's just me and you for the last
We
hour.
just have to. We have to go to our backup plan.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we're bringing on.
I don't know what. Do you have a YouTube channel? How do you announce yourself?
Hi, my name is Mike, and I'm addicted to fish tanks.
It's pretty good. Mike from Aqua Pros is
Whoa.
here, stepping in
Oh, hey, guys.
all the way, driving all the way up from what's the
Alabama.
word? Alabama, right?
It's a long drive.
I think it was
Long drive.
Eastern Nevada, right?
Yeah.
Isn't
Well,
that-
I'm trying to move to Vegas, but again,
It's just where you get closer and closer as time goes by,
We're just
it's
right?
hard not to gravitate towards this place.
Towards that.
Can I hold the mic, Jimmy? Is this cool?
Yes.
I
Yeah,
wanna-
you're just gonna have to hold it, or somebody could grab some tape.
I could just sit.
Maybe
way
Kyle
over
could grab
here.
some tape.
No, we're cool. I can hold it.
I don't know
I
where
can hold
it
it.
went. Oh, you can hold it?
I can hold it.
I believe
All
we
right.
put tape on it, didn't we? Or did we forget?
I did, but it's clearly not enough. It wasn't enough tape.
It should have been the electrical tape.
I can't find it. I don't
led
know where
you
it is.
astray.
I wonder if it's up in the attic.
It might be.
Yeah. I tried to find my electrical tape to hold that mic in place, and couldn't find it. So I had to go with blue painter's tape, and not exactly sufficient.
So, what have you guys been talking about?
Chocolate.
Yeah.
Gummy bears.
I like dark chocolate.
Mr. Brown's coffee. You like
Yeah,
dark chocolate?
Mr. Brown.
I'm
Is
a
that what
dark-
we're doing after this?
I'm a dark
I could
chocolate
really
guy.
use some coffee.
Could you?
I could. Yeah. I text Corey for some coffee, but can
He didn't come through.
The barista's on the
She's on the computer right
the
now.
barista's on the computer.
Can I get you some sugar and some cream as well?
Yeah. 2 sugars, half calf, please.
Okay.
Half calf, decaf.
I don't even know what half is. Half calf. I don't know what half
Half calf.
half calf is half caffeine, right?
I think so.
Is that better? Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe.
Maybe.
There we go.
There we go.
Speak louder because people can't hear.
Yeah, I liked it.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, we also
My
have
mic.
Sassy in the house.
Bring Sassy back.
We've
we
got
go.
the
That's
dog
our
here.
fourth special guest for the night.
Fourth.
Can she?
Well, I guess third. I'm sorry. I can't count anymore. Well, no, Corey. Who was our fourth?
Noodle Legs is here.
Yeah.
Everybody's here. Well, hi, Katie. Katie made us lunch today.
Katie
She
did.
did
It
a
was,
very good job making us lunch today.
it was absolutely delightful.
It was delightful. It was fantastic. Very much appreciate the hostess
Yeah.
bringing it to us.
We're in for a good weekend.
We are in for a good weekend. Things are going pretty good.
Hey, we're doing I believe this is happening, an aquarium co-op meetup tomorrow
That's right.
at 7 p.m. where
Okay.
all of us are going to be there.
I'm invited to that.
Well, we were going to discuss it and then let you know.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to intrude, guys.
We would just talk about
Seriously.
We'll talk about it online in case you decline. Then everyone would know. If you're all like, no, I don't want to go to that.
Yeah, I might have to go.
Is it getting hot in here or is it just Mike?
I am getting a little warm.
These super bright LEDs, right? That actually are not warm at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Oh, we are
nobody
missing
told me.
we are missing a plaid shirt.
Nobody told me. Is there one? Yeah, let me throw something on. Oh yeah.
Oh, there's a plaid shirt.
That's my
Wow.
color. That's my color.
Okay, all right. So now
Might have to pop the collar too.
geez.
Look at that.
The service.
He actually did it.
He brought you coffee.
Wow. First copy. How do I look, guys?
You actually look really good.
Do I?
Yeah.
All right.
And sparkling.
That's what I'm talking about.
Sparking it up.
Bring
It's
the
not
mic
bad.
closer to you, Mike.
Yeah.
Folgers. You guys have a sponsor yet for the podcast? For the live stream?
We're still trying.
I'm saying.
We got to get a sponsor.
Set it in motion.
We were trying to get Aquapros to sponsor us, but he doesn't ever email us back.
That is true.
was
I'm
weird.
bad at email.
We kept sending him email. Oh, hey. What? How do you think about sponsoring? Yeah, thing.
We can work something.
Maybe like thing.
out, man. I mean, I'm gonna need,
Some action up here.
talk.
Okay, fill the space.
You're the designer, so we'll
Yeah, we'll have to
All right, we'll get it.
put your sign up there.
we'll figure it
Bigger
out.
sign.
We'll figure it out, guys. Okay. Wow. This room. I wish everybody could see. It's too bad they have to look at us and they can't just
Can't just look around.
Look
look at
around.
the tanks.
Get
you
the
know?
full panoramic.
That's why, like, when I make my videos, I always feel bad when I point the camera at myself. You know what I mean? I'm just like, well,
Decreasing the quality of the video.
I guess, I'll do something different today.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this is a great room. Glad to be a part of it. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming up. How was your trip up here? It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's been a lot of driving, a lot of flying, a lot of swimming.
Oh, that's
Wow.
right. Didn't
Made
you
it.
just get back from Hawaii?
There's that canal, that I have to cross every time.
Oh, the Columbia
But
Canal.
that too, yeah, that
the Columbia
too.
Canal.
Yeah, sure.
That one?
Uh huh.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, you just got back from Hawaii, though, right?
yeah.
How was it?
It was great.
have a good time?
I'm gonna try and go as much as I can. It's very expensive to travel to Hawaii,
Right.
or anywhere
You want to wait
that
till
far.
you want to wait till
Yeah.
like May. That's like sort of the
Yeah.
off-season time, but it's still not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. No, it was a great time. I was on Oahu for 4 nights, and then on Maui for
Okay.
4 nights, and then
Wow.
the last day, as I was packing up the car, we all got the missile
Warning.
text.
Oh.
So that was
Did you really?
interesting. Yeah, we got the ballistic missile is incoming
warning.
for Hawaii.
Did you just
Like, take cover. This
So what'd
is
you
not
do?
a drill. Well, I looked over at the guy who was like, in charge of the in-out for the parking lot of the hotel, and I just go, "Hey, man," he goes, "Can I curse on here?"
not too hard?
He goes, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm leaving." So the guy that worked at the hotel was like, "I'm out of here."
Did you show it to him and he just slapped it out of your hand and
Yeah,
ran away?
I mean, we were like a couple hundred feet away, but I just go, and he goes, "Yup." So my girlfriend was in the hotel in the lobby, and so I just kind of like run in there, and there's people coming down, like the phone's going off the hook, and for 10 or 15 minutes, it was like a bunch of tourists just freaking out,
Seriously.
thinking that it was super real, and all the employees.
Well, who
there
wouldn't?
was nothing on Google.
Right.
But what I asked an employee, I said, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And he says, "If anything was really happening, we'd hear the tsunami sirens going off."
Yeah, that's
And so
true.
I felt really comfortable in that, and I said, "Okay, let's get on the road because nobody's going to be on it. We got to go to the airport." And so that's what we
Yeah,
did.
let's get out of here.
And then, like 40 minutes later, it was like,
Fine.
it's not real. It was an accident.
But at the time,
Was it? They said it was an accident.
Yeah, there was. I mean,
but at the time, there's nothing to really disprove the only knowledge that you have, which is
There's a missile.
there's a
coming.
missile coming towards you.
yeah, and we all believe that our phones are
Right.
100% accurate no matter what, right? So
The
And
funny
then-
thing is, it could have been accurate, and then they're just telling you, "Oh, it was an accident."
It's just
yeah, like they shot it out of the sky before it.
Yeah, it landed in the water.
that's
Yeah,
kind of that's almost what I'm wondering is happening because you heard that the same thing happened in Japan 2 days later.
Oh no, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, 2 days later, like the I was gonna say NPK, but that's not right. NHK is like the public broadcasting there, and they sent out a warning too. That was like, oh, inbound ballistic missile, blah blah blah,
That's
and then
so
they were like,
sketch.
oh, never mind. Like 5 minutes later, like we
Yeah.
just accidentally we're just over here hitting buttons, and you're like,
How is that an accident?
like I'm an idiot, and I'm certainly not a.
I would
I'm-
never
I'm not,
accidentally
like-
hit the missile button.
Like no one's hired
Right.
me for a technical position to operate a computer thing because of my certificates of authenticity or whatever.
Right.
Right. And yet I don't accidentally hit those buttons like all crazy. Like how could that
Yeah.
accidentally be happening?
And the news said verbatim, like employee pressed wrong button, which seems like come on, are we that naive? Like it's
Right.
not a button.
like
right?
even on my
There's no-
even on my computer when I go to delete a file, it's all like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah,
And you're like,
right?
"Oh, woops,
Yeah.
no, never mind."
I
yeah,
mean,
positive. Yep.
Whoa,
Yep.
Are you-
Definitely a missile.
are you sure?
are you
Yes.
gonna-
Are you
yeah.
sure? Sure.
are you gonna send out missile warning? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought it said traffic. Man.
Send out the
My
traffic
bad.
report.
Yeah. It was wild. It was wild. I won't forget that.
So that
trip,
doesn't happen
mostly
often
because
in Hawaii.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't. Yeah, I hope not, because that was.
Wow.
No, and I think I
Not sure at
heard
all.
somebody was talking about the fact that that was like almost the worst place in America that could happen because it's like the people in Hawaii are pretty cognizant of the fact that Hawaii has been attacked before.
Right.
Like even if you haven't been through an attack, but you like Pearl Harbor's a thing. You know,
Yeah.
there's always military there. Like there's always military drills going on and certain things like that. So like if you live in Hawaii, it's somewhere in your head that you're like, we could get attacked at some point, because it has happened before.
mean, yeah, I mean,
Whereas it's like if you're in Western Washington, it's like no bombs have ever gone off here. You know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah.
my cell phone? Yeah, I don't know, whatever. I'll just go back to drinking my coffee, and doing whatever bouge I could do, and
Beer wine.
not me,
Not you. Yeah.
not me.
No, not me. Not me either.
I mean, yeah, who
Not
does
me either.
that?
I'm a sober guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
Mhm.
Good.
That's good.
yeah. I already used up my share.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
if you go back and watch like 4 years ago, I mean, you can get some interesting videos.
Pseudo interesting.
Pseudo.
Only slightly interesting. So,
man.
what brings you up here other than the new studio? You're just coming up to collaborate, right?
Yeah, I was coming up. I have some.
Talk about some stuff,
I have
see
s-
some things.
Yeah. Well, it's always good. I mean, the timing of it was. It made sense. I mean, I was just on vacation, and I would have like a couple extra days at home, Rob. But
Yeah,
Rob's
I'm
coming
sorry.
out, so I felt like, all right, well,
You gotta come.
I guess I gotta come out for this dude. So, yeah, that, and I did a pit stop on the way up to hang out with some buddies, and
So it worked out good.
yeah, it worked. Yeah, it made sense. It made sense to do
Alright.
it. So,
How about this? What
gotta
was
come
your-
up and collaborate?
Well, you've been here before, obviously.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
it wasn't quite what it is now when you were here last.
No, it's insane. I mean,
So just walk me through
I was confused when I came
Yeah.
in. Like I knew Corey was doing this, but I can't watch like every 20-minute video that Corey puts out. So
That's why we're gonna up it to 40 minutes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
basically like a full-time reality TV show.
That's right.
I'm still am very impressed. But I'm also kind of disappointed because I thought there was going to be more tanks here. I had some really good ideas,
Yeah.
especially for us. But we'll get over it. I mean, this place is crazy.
Were you gonna-
I'm super jealous.
We'll
of all these
utilize the
125s.
store.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course, but
There's more tanks there. When we go to the meetup, you can check those ones out.
yeah, for sure.
We actually have some really
When
good
is the
ideas.
meetup? It's tomorrow, Saturday,
Saturday at 7 p.m.
Saturday.
I believe.
Saturday,
Yep,
7
we're
p.m.
confirmed.
January 20th
Yeah.
at
Aquarium
the Aquarium
Co-op.
Co-op in Edmonds, Washington. Don't go to any other false, fake imposters of the Aquarium Co-op.
Yeah, we wouldn't be there.
because we won't be there.
Yeah.
We won't be hanging out with the fakers. We're hanging out with the real deal.
I mean, this is. I would reason to say that this is the biggest YouTube collaboration weekend in the history of aquarium YouTubing.
Do you not count?
Aquatic experiences.
Yeah,
count.
you don't
yeah,
count
yeah.
Chicago. Yeah, you
Don't even bring it up.
That doesn't. Yeah.
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 You had to go there, didn't you?
Yeah.
They had sea lions
Yeah.
there, man. That don't count.
Yeah.
Were those sea lions?
Well, everybody.
Seals?
Nobody cared that.
What were they?
They were.
Everybody
they were
was there for the
seals.
sea lions.
Yeah.
Sea lions?
Sea lions are much bigger.
Seal lions.
Seal lions.
Those are seal lions?
I think that's what they're.
That's the proper.
What do you call
I'm
a
not a
marine
marine
biologist?
biologist, but Jinx.
Ah,
You and me and Mr. Brown.
yeah. Now I have to go to the market.
Yes. Oh, how's the coffee?
Wow.
I've never made a coffee before.
It's so. How is it cold?
That's all we had over there.
Cold.
So
I mean, it's not bad. I'm just like.
it
I
caught you
got
off guard.
coffee,
Oh,
and it's literally cold.
Everyone else drinks it cold.
How do you-
drink coffee?
How do you?
People are drinking coffee out of the refrigerator.
Oh, that's what that is.
yeah.
Is that a Starbucks? Is that a Starbucks thing?
He made that out of the Keurig, but he didn't turn the
Starbucks.
heat on. Oh, okay. There we go.
We'll take a Starbucks
We'll take
sponsorship, please.
Starbucks. Yeah, we need.
They're close. I mean, hey,
They're right down the
they're close.
street.
They're
Bring it
close.
on.
Maybe.
Bring it on, Sturbooks.
Maybe.
Um,
Why isn't this in an aquarium co-op mug though? That's what I want to know.
We actually had Starbucks at the sushi place last night.
that's right. We had the Starbucks sushi.
Yeah,
We had to go to sushi last
and
night.
I had the Starbucks dinner. I mean, it was interesting.
It was pretty good.
I've never been to a sushi place that serves Starbucks.
It was a main course, though. Yeah. It's odd.
It was odd.
See, he wasn't there, and now he's confused because
Yeah,
he doesn't
there's
know
a
what you're talking
Starbucks
about.
in the sushi place, or is it like there's a Starbucks in every Walmart kind of a deal?
No, like we ordered Starbucks sushi. Jimmy will have to explain.
Whoa.
Jimmy ordered it for me.
What?
That's all.
What?
Yeah. And then everything they delivered to me, they were like, "This is the Starbucks dinner. This is your Starbucks drink and
This
this
is-
water."
this
Yeah,
is one of those
This really
times.
happened.
This is some trendy, like we're close to Seattle stuff.
Free
One of those
plug.
times where you
Right?
had,
Like-
had to be there. Free plug. Hashtag free plug
Wow.
for
Yeah.
Seattle.
Yeah, they're gonna have to pay for that
I
too.
think Seattle's
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
have to cough up some of that train money. You know what I'm talking about?
Too soon, dude.
That's too soon.
I think it might
Wow, that's way too soon.
What, they're built for the new
Demonetized.
train that they're building.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the broken train.
We
The
don't
other
talk,
one.
We don't talk about that one.
The new one.
That's twice you crossed the line.
The
bud.
road project. Did I cross the line? That was right by my house. That accident was actually
who
right by
am
my
I?
house.
Really?
Yeah, that's right by where I live.
That's scary, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary.
It was freaky. Considering there's always planes, giant like military planes flying over my house, and then you kind of think like none of those would crash. You never think a train's gonna crash. You're like none of these planes would ever crash, and then I started thinking, oh man, what if one of these planes crashes and I'm just out here, yelling at my chickens,
Wow.
and then I'm
How
just
often
gone.
does that thought cross your mind?
But then I might just get to hang out with the ghosts that already live there, right?
yeah,
So it probably wouldn't be too bad.
Fred the Fifth.
Let's say, if I get hit by a plane like on the side of a mountain, there's no other ghosts there for me to hang out with. So at least I'll have that going for me, right?
It's an interesting way to look at it.
In the afterlife.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't
so,
know. Somebody's calling me from Arizona.
you got to answer it. We got to take this call. Listen,
Hang that up.
you're on the
Hang
air.
that up.
Oh man.
I can only take callers if I recognize their phone number. You got to set that up ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. When are the Skype calls going to come in? I don't know. We're going to have to pipe in the Skype calls.
It
So
would
that
be
people
fun.
don't have to drive all the way up from
Alabama, New Mexico,
Arkansas.
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 So Aqua Pros, we really didn't get to hear a lot about you.
Yeah.
When you were a child, did you have fish tanks, or did you just kind of like stumble into this?
Oh yeah.
Man,
Were you?
I had.
Were you a young fish tank man?
I had no.
No,
No,
wow.
no,
Okay.
I wasn't. No, I wasn't. I had a beta fish, however you like to pronounce it. It's up to you how you pronounce
Beta.
it.
Beta.
Beta. That's not bad. I kind of like that.
good,
It sounds
right?
artsy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, like you could. Yeah.
Beta.
I had one of those for like a while, but it was never my thing. It was just like I don't even know why I had it back then. It doesn't make any sense.
Were you one of those
Well-
guys that had it in the vase with the plant and it had to eat the roots?
No, but
Okay, good.
yeah, I wasn't that. I
I've
mean,
seen that.
There may have been pink gravel. I mean, not pink. Sorry, no,
All right, moving
blue
on.
gravel, of
Blue,
course.
okay, you
It
can't.
definitely wasn't a mix. No, but I was always into nature and animals, kind of like ecosystems and stuff. But I wasn't, when I was younger, I guess that wasn't like a focus of mine because I wasn't old enough to, I don't know,
Appreciate it.
for whatever reason. Yeah, I mean, like I appreciated it, but I never like acted on the things that I was interested in until really I got, a little bit older and when I got into college, and that's when, I was like, I probably shouldn't be a stockbroker because I'm not into that. I'm more into like learning about how life works
That whole
and stuff like
jazz.
that. Yeah, and so I transitioned into being really into ecology and science and all kinds of different, areas of science, and somehow that just led me into. I always kind of wanted to have a fish tank when
Yeah.
I was younger, but I never really could, or acted on it. But then when I was kind of on my own, I was just like, yeah, I'm doing this. And then I just went like straight in, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And being able to relate the ecosystem of like the planted aquarium and everything to like the science that I was learning in college was cool for me. And it was another way to help me, I guess,
Right.
motivate myself to learn more in a way. So that's kind of how it all happened.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. And I mean, I'm very faithful.
So when you started, was it like you started doing fish tanks and you started YouTube around the same time, or?
No, I mean, I was into fish tanks for, I don't even know how many more years. I mean, I started really getting into fish tanks when I was like 19, like as soon as I was out and could kind of like have my own space and do whatever I wanted.
Okay.
And then YouTube just like, it happened a little bit later. And it just been doing it ever since. Kind of.
Just been kind of doing it.
Kind of
Doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Did you ever think you'd get here? Being with me and Joel in the
Can
studio.
we turn this sign around?
Just so you can stare at
Because
it.
it's not the truth.
Hey, this is Corey's sign.
That is
Here's
Corey's
what we'll
sign.
do. We'll go like this. We'll just flip it around, and then this is
It's
cool.
just that's a more
You are
accurate.
fill in the blank.
That's a more accurate representation of me.
How do you spell Aqua Pros? How do you do that?
I'm not good at spelling.
No.
That is the funniest thing.
Thank
I
God
have a
for
lot-
spell check, right?
I have a lot to Still
Let's see a lot
learning,
of
guys.
things to bring to the table. That's okay.
Yeah.
Spelling's not required now that we have the robots to do it for us, right?
There are a lot of words that I should be able to spell, but I always spell wrong.
Like, give us an example.
Like chocolatier.
This is definitely. I spell it wrong every time.
I actually do that sometimes. Defiantly.
I feel
or
like we had a
definitely?
conversation about this.
Possibly.
Maybe. Yeah, I spell it wrong every time.
How do you spell it? No, I won't put you on the spot. We won't.
Well, don't do that.
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's a couple Z's in there. No, yeah, like technology's great, but it's also kind of bad.
Believe it or not,
I don't
because my YouTube channel is Flip Aquatics, and so when I'm opening a new account for like a wholesaler or something like that, I always tell them the business name, and no one knows how to spell Aquatics.
Aquatics.
I have to spell it out almost every time. They're like Aquatics, like AQUATICS. They're like, a little bit slower next time.
It's like,
See, that's an easy one for me.
Yeah.
That's
there you go.
Yes, that's how I spell it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah.
Did I get it?
I've seen it with all kinds of different emojis for the top of the eye, but I appreciate the heart.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
It's an accurate representation of your personality.
it's very accurate. Yes,
Yeah.
accurate.
it's very accurate.
Is that another one that's hard to spell?
Do you know how to spell? You know how to spell it, but pronunciation
There's a lot of
is
C's in it
gonna
somewhere.
be a problem, right?
Yeah.
Cool. What kind of big like up and coming projects do you got coming down the pipe? What have you announced?
Ooh.
What have you announced that like people on my channel may or may not have known? Because you are the Aqua Pros, so chances are a lot of people have probably seen your videos, but chances are there could be a couple people watching right now. They're like, "Who that guy? Who
Yeah.
that guy? What'd he do?"
Yeah. Well, I mean, these days it's just setting up a bunch of tanks that I don't exactly have room for.
Okay.
and trying to maintain them all. But
That's not bad news.
it's-
You're acting like that's bad news. That's good news.
no, it's not. It does. It can get a little stressful we all know.
We've all been there.
You get to a point with your number of fish tanks where you have to like take a step back and kind of be like, whoa. I got some fish tanks here, and I don't even have that many compared to you guys. You know what I mean? When I'm all said and done with what I think I should have, right?
Yeah.
It's like 11 tanks. They're not all big, so like smaller tanks
Yeah.
are really cool. But so I guess if people are like looking forward to what I do, it's just setting up more tanks and really trying to focus on the aquascaping. I mean, I'm not a professional aquascaper by any means, but that's kind of where the hobby has taken me, and where that's where my main focus is now, is trying to get better at aquascaping.
But that's your
tough,
goal,
but-
though. The end goal is $28,000. Michael, come aquascape your like 480,000 gallon aquarium that you've already built out, and Mike just shows up as the visionary.
Yeah.
Right.
I
have to admit, I'm like, rarely am I ever jealous, except for like some of the old videos of like Takahashi Amano, where he's like, he's like putting a sketch down, and there's like 20 guys just like, get the rock, and they're like carrying it in and like put it in there. He's like, no, over there, and they're like, they like move it around, and he's like, never mind, and they're like, take it back out of the tank. I'm like, I'm kind of jealous of that whole situation right there. I don't know. That's like wild, And then they're like, well, let's go take a look at what, Mr. Amano is working from here. His palette, if you will, And they go back, and it's like a dump truck of rock, right? And he's like kind of pushing through it. And then it's like, well, he's got some plants over here that he's working with. And it's just like tables and tables and tables and tables of different plants with all the species names in them and all this stuff. And you're like, yep, there it is. That's kind of what I want to do. I want to try that someday, at least once,
Yeah.
Like just, right? That's the goal.
It would be. I don't know if it.
Or is it bigger?
If it.
Is it a bigger goal?
That's pretty big.
You just want to aquascape
I think
like a whole state.
Wow.
We can
Las
put that
Vegas.
together.
A stateside.
All we need is some of them Amazon drones, and we're on.
Aquascaping a huge tank though, like I see Oliver Knott doing a bunch of stuff like where he goes and scapes these huge tanks, and I mean Takashi as well, but I just think like that's hard to scape a huge tank like that. I mean, way harder than a 125 is a big tank for a lot of people. For me too. Yeah. I think about aquascaping the 800 gallon, and it's like I don't even know what I would do differently unless I had literally like $5,000 worth of Dragonstone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just pile it up, because you have to. I mean, there's just so much to work.
There's so much
to work with.
I mean, it's almost. I mean, it's basically the size of that manhole behind you. Like, but taller.
It's crazy. I mean, that's cool. I mean, it would be fun to work on a scape like that. It'd be cool if it was mine. You know what I mean? So I could at least get some experience doing that. But I don't know. I mean, we'll just have to see where all this goes. I have no idea where any of this is going. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
As far as
I mean, I asked not to put you on the spot. Like,
no,
hey, man,
it's totally cool.
You should have this sorted out, right? Because I feel like it is an answer. If you're like, you know what, I don't know, I'm just kind of going with the flow right now. I'm like kind of working on what I'm working on, and we'll see what happens. Like that's an answer to me.
Yeah.
I like this. So
yeah,
actually, just going on the same topic. I mean, where do you guys see your channels in a year? Like, I mean, we're all doing something right now, but do you have that plan? Like, are we going to be sitting?
See the channel?
Are we going to be sitting here 1 year from now having the same discussion?
So we're going to have a studio.
I hope we're here.
We're going to have a studio that's the size of a state. Okay.
Okay.
And then
and
no, I'm just kidding.
This is next year?
No, we're all going to have Amazon drones, and we'll be able to fly back and forth. Right?
Yeah, and we can do this every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Well, I guess today's technically Friday.
Is today technically Friday, or is it actually
It's
Friday?
actually...
Is it literally?
Literally.
Hey man, it's literally Friday.
In
Literally.
In theory.
Literally. Right?
Literally. Actually, literally, it is Friday.
Yeah.
But we would do this on Wednesdays.
You think you want to do it on Wednesday?
Yeah, just because it kind of separates the week.
Oh, in the middle on hump
Yeah.
day? Okay.
You know, it's kind of like a celebration, like the three greatest minds come together with plaid shirts.
Excuse me. That made me laugh.
So your channel in 1 year, you plan on it being the size of a state?
I have no plans for this channel. I'm just gonna keep doing. I'm just gonna keep making shows. That's my plan. My plan is just to keep working. That's it.
To just keep putting out shows.
I have like ideas of things that I'm gonna do at some point in time, but I'm just gonna keep working. I don't care. I'm just gonna take opportunities and just keep working. I'm too old to lament the ideas of like laying in a field going like, look at that cloud. It might be a bunny. It's like, I'm like, dude, there's a wolf going to eat that bunny. I got to go. Either way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting close to death here.
So in a year, we're gonna watch.
I know.
clouds.
I'm literally middle aged. Like literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Actually.
Actually.
Are you really?
Well, men are only supposed to live to be 74.6, right?
You could make it
Or
to
maybe it's
80
gonna-
for sure.
I probably could. Stem cells, bro. That's the way. I'm just gonna start injecting them
I mean,
daily.
Yeah. You just gotta harvise them from Jimmy's calves.
controversial, but I have no
I
comment.
can't. You cannot harvest anything from noodle eggs over there. Like, you'd have a problem, dude. You'd be like, I need some of them noodle eggs stem cells, and then I would never be able to get anywhere. My legs would just be flopping around all willy-nilly.
Wow.
Don't make me come
For
over.
the record, I don't think that's how it works, but I could be wrong.
I don't condone this behavior.
I'm
For the
not a
record.
stem cell scientist.
No. You're not?
You couldn't whip something up in the lab?
No, I flunked out of that part of school. I tried to hang, but I couldn't.
Couldn't hang. Couldn't do it? No? Oh.
Or somebody threw something at us?
Whoa, dude.
That was me.
Oh,
It
okay.
was a ghost.
All right. So in a year, Joel's channel will be shows.
I'm just going to keep making shows.
I like it.
Do you got a plan for your channel? What, do you have any like new crazy projects coming or... Because I know that you, last I checked, you're building out more rooms, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know, like for me, I'm going to be building some ponds. I have a greenhouse going in and a couple of other projects like people maybe want to do them, maybe they don't want to do them, doing some ponds and some other stuff that'll be coming up this year for sure. So I think that I'll have more produced shows, I think.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Corey and I, we're doing the Real Fish Talk like on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that's actually going to start opening up some time to do more produced videos and stuff. And, get some if like people need how-tos or like what is this thing and that kind of stuff. Do better versions of some of my old ones where I used to be like all hammered and like things were like on fire in the background or whatever.
Wow. And you're gonna try recreating those?
I'm gonna fix some of those because like some of my old videos that maybe people like or don't like, they have problems. So I'm probably gonna remake some of those. Like
I have
some of
to
the
say-
substrate videos and things like that where people are still confused.
Yeah.
Like I made one just a while ago that was, or like 2 weeks ago or something, that was like people are always confused because like Fluval Stratum, they're like, it's so much more expensive. You're like, yeah, but you get twice as much. And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I made a video that was like, here's this container and this container, and they're the same. Let's cut open the bag and put them in there. And they're like, oh, there's
more.
got it. Yeah. So it's like, because people will just look at the weight. You know, when you're online shipping, you go like, oh, this one's 16 pounds and that one's 17 pounds. They're like the same. You know, but they're not because the volume, the size, it's different volume.
Yeah.
It's not, the weight's different. Volume is different.
So the gravel might be lighter. And so
Right.
there's more of it to make.
Oh my
it
God.
more weight.
Is that a Sam Squatch?
This is a Sam Squatch. All right. Well, I guess we have a whole bunch of special guests to get through.
You want me to get up and the next one can sit down?
Let's do that. Who
All
do you want
right.
to interview? You want to interview somebody? You got choices.
Yes.
Oh, not? No. He says
Hey.
no.
Fresh.
No, you got
Hey
choices.
Joel, I just want to say thank
The
you
two
for
couch
thank you for having me on the show.
The two couch people you get to choose from. Oh, he doesn't want to go. He says no. Well, Rob's leaving.
Rob, come back.
I don't know.
Rob, come back.
They kicked me out.
All
Come
those
back.
guys, all of the special guests over there
Come
said,
back.
said
Wow.
Somebody can sit next to
I
me.
really did have to pee.
We could share a mic. I mean, you got a Coke can right there, dude. Is that empty?
no. You're just gonna just
Be right
go,
back.
I
Just
mean-
go in the Coke can.
I mean,
We were gonna have Sasquatch here.
Sam Squatch?
Sam Squanch was gonna show up.
Well, he just left.
He just dipped out.
So, following on with our question.
Yeah.
You know, Mike, where do you see your channel in 1 year? I know you love the aquascaping side of your channel, but do you see anything new coming out? Do you see following the same course of action? I mean, you are over 100,000 subscribers now.
I mean, 110, I think, right?
Wow. So you've grown a lot since we've talked last.
Stop.
You got verified.
I did.
Oh, good times.
I earned a check mark.
I hear that's important.
It's pretty big for our genre.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
No, that's cool.
we live.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
It's like it's
Thank
an
you.
accomplishment. That's
Thank
cool.
Put you among the great.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I I'm blushing, man. I'm blushing. You're too kind. No, I mean, I am faced with a problem though, which is basically if I keep doing exactly what I'm doing, I'm gonna have so many fish tanks that it's just it doesn't make sense for the way that I keep them, which is basically they're all in my house. And I personally don't want to have fish tanks all over every room in my house.
Right.
Right? Because at some point, you know, you get kind of choked out by them.
Right.
You know? I don't have any in my room
Then
where I, you know, sleep.
Yeah.
And, you know,
you're gonna have to build your own fish studio.
just to, you know, have a little bit of, you know, but my office is like covered it on there in my living room. There's going to be more there, you know what I mean? So, and then just like where I'm at, like, I don't know if, you know, I'm going to be in a different place, you know, like physically, if I'm going to be in a different place in a year from now. So it's hard for me to forecast that far just because I don't know. So it's kind of, I mean, it's kind of a scary thing. Like, I have no doubt that I'm going to stick with doing the channel just as far as like how those things are going to impact the channel. That will kind of dictate, you know, the content a little bit.
You know what I would like? You know what I would like to see?
What would you like to see?
I'd like to see more of Mike.
Would you?
Yeah. So like right now you focus a lot on aquariums. And we'd like to get to know, at least I would, get to know Mike more.
I haven't even seen you practice karate moves in the garage yet, which...
Yeah, well, I am a karate man.
Seems like
I'm a black belt.
Seems lacking.
Stop it.
I'm a black belt. I'm serious.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm a black belt. Well, you don't go telling people you're a black belt in karate for a lot of different reasons, okay? But you put me on the spot.
You want to test
like,
the champion?
You know, let's not go there. But
So that might be a video coming
I mean, if we have to go there
soon.
we can go there.
Okay, all right.
But rule number 1 of karate is
Don't
don't talk about karate.
What? Is that rule number 1?
And then
what's rule number 2?
Rule number 2 is
Definitely don't talk about karate.
we don't want. Yeah, I mean, Bob knows.
Bob.
That's really good to see you, man.
I'm gonna kick you in the face for talking about karate.
What? Oh,
Did anybody hear that?
also
He just threatened us.
knows karate.
Trying to...
If he talks like that,
Don't poke the bear, bro.
No, and he is the bear.
Yeah.
We'll hear more from the bear later.
Yeah.
But Joel, you know what I'd love to see on your channel?
What's that?
I'd love to see more of the 10-minute blog, like run around crazy, like million things going on. Those were some of my favorite videos you've ever produced.
That's all the time.
Like, it's just, it's great.
Don't worry. I'll do one for you.
Will you?
I'll dedicate it to Rob.
Will you? Can I sponsor that video?
To Flip. Yeah.
This video has been brought to you by Flip Aquatics. And thank you to our sponsor today.
Thank you to our sponsor. Something was on fire, and I think there was a chicken in there somewhere. Not sure. Was it in its coop?
how many chickens you got?
Well, you just
You know
ate
what?
one.
I was going to answer that question real fast, and I had to actually think about it for a second. I think we have 11?
Nice.
10. No, we had 11, and one was murdered.
Wow.
Any suspects?
Callously. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the suspect list is quite short, because I know who the murderer was.
I mean, don't name them on here. You know, you don't have to.
No, I'm very interested.
Twas raccoon.
Oh.
Yeah. How do you know it's a raccoon?
That's how they kill him.
Oh, really?
Oh God.
They all do it a different way.
An owl literally just takes the head off, doesn't it?
Generally speaking, yeah. Mm-hmm. Raccoons just cut out the craw, and then they rip out the craw of their neck, and then they lick the blood up as they bleed out. And then and then guess what they do after that?
Nothing.
They just leave. The whole
meat
there.
and everything.
Mm-hmm, everything. They don't eat it all.
So there's no
Like coyotes take the whole chicken. Coyotes, they're just like,
It's gone.
you go from 11 to 10. Like, you're just like, I don't know. That one's gone.
Where'd Larry go?
Yeah. Possums are kind of a mixed bag, but they'll normally just go for eggs and stuff if they can. Like rats, possums, they'll go for eggs because it's way easier for them to get an egg than anything else.
Kill chicken.
Owls, pretty rare for owls to get chickens because chickens are normally inside at night.
Yeah.
And the owls are, nocturnal, right?
Yeah.
Beasts. But one day, the latch on our coop, like maybe didn't get latched, so it like maybe blew open, and Mr. Raccoon had a little dinner.
That was not a good sight.
Which must have worked out pretty well because I saw a bunch of little baby raccoons. You know what I mean? So that's not bad.
Interesting.
I have a question
We have a special guest on the
my
special
question.
guest episode.
for Mike.
Right.
Why is your name plural? Aquapros?
Ooh. His mind is just rocked.
That blew my mind.
That's a fantastic question.
Has anyone asked you that before?
Yeah, what is plural?
What
I thought it sounded better.
Then Aqua Pro.
Yeah. I don't like the whole like me thing.
You could have done.
So it
Right?
could be bigger than yourself.
Like, like maybe, but that wasn't like the point. I mean,
It bled through. But you could have done Aqua Pros like PROSE.
Z?
No, like SE. But like,
Oh, yeah.
And then you could just
Yeah, but
wax,
that looks
and then you
weird.
could just be like, oh, how beautiful is this?
Oh,
you know, it's like pros, you
I
know?
see. Yeah,
and then you
yeah,
could be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, the majesty of this fish tank.
I could have. That
You know
could
what?
have been the whole.
You should-
Yeah, that
there's-
could have been the whole
There's
thing.
a perfect video that you could do.
There's a rework if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
Edit your name and your personality.
Yeah, and my accent.
If
Yeah.
you do
Yeah.
that, if you do
It's
the,
not a bad
if
idea.
you do the Aqua Pros video, you have to wear the frilly like Prince shirt. You know what I mean? And like a Shakespearean kind of cut jacket.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
Let's talk after this.
We gotta do this.
I feel like you know where
gotta-
I can find one of those.
Yeah.
I gotta have you gotta have options, man. Sometimes you gotta reinvent yourself.
You need,
Whoa.
you need a toe.
Wow.
I'll get you a toe with polish.
Jeez.
Does anybody else want to come in on this?
Does anyone else need to come in? We got secret guests there, secret guests there, secret guests there. Those guys all stay secret till tomorrow. You'll have to tune into the Aquarium Co-op for the live stream. Are we going live?
I
on
don't
your
know.
channel
We
tonight?
might. It's
wanna-
gonna be messy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably if we do, which is good, I guess.
Yeah.
But it might be kind of a wild time. I don't know.
If we live stream on your channel, should we just hang out and like eat top ramen?
We should. Yeah, we should.
Like, just-
we should
just
have it be
quietly
really
eating bowls of
obscure.
noodles.
We should have it be really obscure since I don't ever do it.
You don't ever do it.
I've only done it one other time, and it was me, Corey, and Bob in the store
Okay.
on Corey's phone. And it was
Live streaming?
It was pretty wild. Yeah, it was interesting. So
Here's a
Oh, there's
special
our
guest.
secret. There's another secret guest on the stream. Welcome to the show, Mr. Bob Steenfott himself of Steenfott Aquatics.
Right here at us.
You don't really have to look anywhere. You just kind of do what you do.
Round table conversation.
I don't have a graphic for that
Welcome,
guy.
Bob. Thanks for coming down. Yeah, let's go. Handshake action. How you feeling today? Feeling good? Feeling strong? I'm almost getting the sense that I'm almost getting the sense that is emergency mixed with water.
And it's purple drink.
Is that? Oh, I don't know what that
the
is.
kids call it these days.
No, it's like emergency. It's called Zip Fizz.
Oh, Zip Fizz. Okay. Yeah. Are you feeling well? Are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Okay.
I just like it,
You just
so I drink it.
because Zip. It's like your coffee.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of people drink that Zip Fizz like instead of coffee, which is probably a smart move, right?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Ill effects.
It's got
Good effects.
43% 43,000% of your vitamin B12.
Wow.
So
That
if
could
you drink
be-
a lot, you
so
could have some problems.
Could be problematic.
Yeah.
Like just you're all like, I feel kind of weird right now.
That's why you're so hyper all the time.
Yeah, I'm so.
Yeah. We noticed that. You guys should have seen him behind the camera. Like,
In the camera,
jumping jacks. just before he
running
came on.
around,
Moving.
zipping about.
Now, Mike, do you feel like you're a little left out now? I mean, there's
I feel great.
a lot of facial hair around here.
Why am I shorter than you? I don't like it.
Because you're 5'2", Bob.
Well, you're not supposed to tell people that. I'm like Tom Cruise, you know? That's why I gotta be taller than everyone. but I
You just
can't
walk
raise my
around on
chin.
a box all the time.
Yeah,
Hey, to be fair, I did shave before I came up.
so did I.
It
but-
wasn't a lot though. It wouldn't have been able to hang at this table.
No?
No, it wouldn't have.
Bob's got a pretty glorious beard going.
That's nice. I like it.
I'm just lazy.
Is that what it is?
He says that.
We all need a little more of that in our life.
Yeah, why not?
Oh,
Staying busy.
staying busy.
The devil, what is it?
I don't know.
Idle hands, devil's playground.
I was gonna say
Ooh,
Devil Wears
that is
Prada,
true.
Yeah,
But
the devil wears.
We're all on the same
That's
track.
right.
yeah, me and Rob are on the same page.
Devil wears Prada. Yeah.
Bob's favorite movie.
Cool.
I have no idea what that is.
Well, we got about 10 minutes left in the show. We got to check in with our super chats real quick, and if there's any questions or anything on there, do we have any?
There's really no super chat.
No super chats. Okay.
No super chats.
I got to check in. I don't have the screen over here.
Where's
Get
my
on
phone?
him, Bob. People are having problems.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, is it broken?
Hold
actually?
on.
Hold
We
on.
got
Hold
Pele Trail. Keep tripping.
Keep tripping. Okay. We'll
All
keep
right.
tripping.
Is he mic'd up too? Is
I
that
can
a
do
mic?
that.
Yeah, he has a mic over there, the big boomer.
He's got the boom mic hanging down, so he can be the voice of God because he can silence us all and just be like, "Yes, never mind. Be quiet now." Noodle Legs has the floor.
I don't know. Have you seen his calves? Like that's
Their noodly is all get out.
not according to the internet.
Him and the bearded fish keeper tried to,
Compare
I don't know,
calves?
walk uphill, and they ruined his legs all week. He's been walking around like the scarecrow from Wizard of
On that little
Oz.
hike you guys went on?
Yeah, they just walked, and
It's like a 1 mile hike.
they just walked, and they're both falling apart. These guys are getting old, bro. Sorry. All right. Well, no super chats. Nothing to worry about. So, Bob, I've seen some. We saw your live stream last night. Pretty good. How'd it go?
Went well.
Seemed like you had a ton of questions of people freaking out about YouTube stuff.
Oh, that's
but they
right. That's
seem
what
to
we
be calming down. And we do have 5, 6, 7 YouTubers in here, so we should probably
Should we get all of
spend probably 45
could.
seconds to address some of the goofy questions that we've all gotten. I've gotten a couple. A lot of people freaked out that YouTube has some new levels of stuff. And the one thing that I've been trying to remind people is I've been on YouTube for a long time. Like not like I'm an original YouTuber or anything like that, but
You're pretty
you know,
close.
I passed up the 10. My channel's been not active or whatever for 10 years. Just the other day,
Wow.
2008 is when I made my channel, right? And some people are like, well, they're gonna take away this and they're gonna take away that, and it's like over 10 years it has changed. Probably every 20 minutes it changes. They're like, oh, let me push some buttons in here and something happens.
Yeah.
And guess what? It just kept going. So I would say that anybody out there that's trying to do stuff, since you brought up like where do you see yourself in a year and that kind of stuff was coming up, I was like, oh, we should probably run that over real quick. That in I think all of our experiences have been uniquely different, right? And that, but the one consistent thing is that the platform has stayed the same because the community has existed. It's like
Yeah.
people are watching videos, people are engaging, things are going on. And guess what? No matter like how weird it gets, whether somebody's like with air quotes like screwing it up or something like that, it still just keeps going on because the people are watching, and that's been the one consistent thing that's been going, whether they change monetization or they do this or do that. Like everybody, you keep creating stuff, you put it up, people watch it, and then we move forward, and another day goes by. So I don't know if it's really going to affect anybody at this table, but I was just wondering a couple of people's like your perception on the changes and stuff, because basically what they did was they raised the bar to enter monetization.
Yeah. So my thought on it is, you know, when I started YouTube, I didn't start it for the views. I didn't start it for the subscribers or their watch time. So a lot of the younger channels, I feel like a lot of them have gotten discouraged. Where I feel like, you know, when you're that small, it isn't about, you know, making it to a bar. Like, it should be about just creating something and building that community, because I know a lot of us have built communities within the bigger community just because of who we are. And so I would encourage all the smaller channels to focus on the people and the attitudes and who they associate with and the communities they're building around themselves. And then everything else will just come to follow, like Aqua Pros. Mike, I'm sure when you started off, you weren't like, yeah, I'm going for 100,000. Like, you just started off just like, let's make a video and let's see where this goes. Joel was in it, but way before me. And
I think I hit something with a stick, and I was like, dude, I gotta put this up.
Yeah.
People gotta know that this happened.
This happened.
That technically wasn't my first video.
Oh, okay.
I deleted my first video.
I'm with you on that one.
So
Yeah.
my first video was uploaded in 2007. It was a gaming video. And then I don't know what happened to it. It's just gone. Like, that was the only thing I did on YouTube. And then I don't even think I logged on for like years after that. So I don't know if they just got rid of it, but yeah. And then my first video is on private. Well, I guess technically my second video is on private.
So we're all gonna watch that after this.
It's pretty funny.
Reminisce.
It's pretty funny.
We gotta check that out.
You know, I just think there's a lot of negativity and a lot of knee-jerk reaction going on, and I don't think people are taking the right perspective at it. For the people who are serious and want to make something out of YouTube, this is good for them.
Yeah.
I realize the threshold is higher now, but when you hit that higher threshold, you're going to make more on the new minimums than you did on the old minimums.
Right.
So a channel with 10,000 views, you're not making enough money to get a paycheck anyways, right?
Yeah.
That was the old threshold. With the new thresholds, you'll actually make enough to get paid by YouTube.
Right.
So, yeah, it's higher, but you're going to get paid more. And then you got to think, like, out of let's just say there's 1,000 small channels, right? Half of them are going to get discouraged and just quit.
Right.
So that's going to open up a huge market for all the people that are going to stick with it. So you should now be growing faster because of all the quitters.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. That's my take on it. And I like this wood grain camera. I don't know what that's about, but
Yeah, you like that?
It's pretty dope. The handle. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got your 2 cents?
he's like, I'm 100K.
He's like,
I don't care.
I mean, no.
Wait, shh.
I've what?
Shh, don't say anything.
Yeah.
Don't speak. No, are you?
Talking to the microphone.
I've heard a lot of theory. What is it? It's 1,000 subs, and it was like 4,000 minutes of watch time per month, which would roughly translate to how many views? I mean, obviously it would be different for the case, but
Yeah.
I feel like that's a threshold that if you're taking it seriously and you want to, want to grow a channel, like, you'll be able to get past that barrier if you put the time in. I mean, fish tank stuff, like, it's going to take you longer than if you're like a vlog channel and you're like a 20-year-old that, you know what I mean? Like, if your content isn't targeted towards where all the eyes are, which ours obviously isn't,
Right.
Yeah.
it's going to be even more difficult. So I like to think of our group. I almost feel sorry for our group, of like just like fish tank community people on YouTube, because it's like it's so much harder than
Right.
any other like type of content
Yeah.
to get like crazy levels that all these other bigger channels are able to obtain. But I mean, I don't know, them raising that, I don't think it's a huge problem. Like you said, I mean, it's this, but like, what is it going to be in a month from now? Is it going
Right.
to be even more ridiculous? Like, we got through the whole, like demonetization wave kind of thing that was happening. Like, I'm sure we were all differently affected by that. Like,
Right.
but that seems to be kind of resolved. Doesn't mean it's not going to come back, but
Right.
Well, the rumor
And I think it
was
like
that,
ultimately like it comes down to like if people are making, and this was always one of those things that like when people would say this in the past, I would just be like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. When I was like 20 years ago, people would say this and I'd be like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. But it was like, just make what you want to make and then people will like it, right?
Yeah.
Because you make it so much better than you would if it's something you don't want to make. You know what I mean?
If you don't have passion for something, no
Right.
one else can buy into it.
It's like somebody could say, if you make 99-cent cheeseburgers, like nobody wants to show up for 99-cent cheeseburgers. Like that's crap. You know, if you're a culinary school guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Everyone, if you go to culinary school, you want to make foie gras and fancy lobster and 16-course dinners and stuff. And 99-cent cheeseburgers, that's ridiculous. But to the guy that actually makes really good 99-cent cheeseburgers, like makes them well, they're like handcrafted. Like this is, we grew the cow over there. You can see our cattle. We bake the bread here fresh. We do all that kind of stuff. You're like, dude, that is the best cheeseburger I've ever had, right?
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily the standard of like whether or not something's good as an arbitrary thing, like just a non-existent thing, but it's like when something actually is good once it's been produced. Like most people wouldn't go into YouTube going, well, it's a real big market in them fish tank videos, man. You better make some high production fish tank videos. And then guess what? Veyron, you'll be commuting in a Veyron in no time. You know what I mean? It's like, that's not the $1 million thing. It's like, if you wanted $1 million video idea, you should have gone back in time and invented the Transformers and somehow signed a contract with Jerry Bruckheimer, and boom, you'd be fine. But, it's like when you make something that you're really interested in making, it's just that much better. Yeah. So to all the people out there that are starting a channel or anything like that, just make the thing that you want to make, and it'll just be better, and people will engage with it more.
Yeah.
Which is why I started doing these like goofy live streams where I just like yell into the microphone like a maniac, and then it's like people are like, "Hey, weirdo, come over here." I don't know, and I'm like, "What?" I thought people want what? I don't know what people want. You know what I mean? And then I figured that out over time. But I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, it was legitimately on the table to make 10K subscribers the minimum for monetization.
Oh yeah.
Was it
10,000 subscribers? So they cut it back to 1,000.
It's a pretty big jump.
See, that's
Hey guys, I'm gonna need 1,500 subscribers, 2,000 subscribers real soon, because they're gonna cut me off. No.
10,000.
I'd keep making it.
10,000 would have been ridiculous.
Yep.
Because, I mean, I just think you talk about like quality content. Like that's a phrase that we all hear all the time, and
Right.
on other people's stuff too. But it's like you could have somebody who's way better than all of us at making and producing videos, and it's not obviously their full-time thing right away.
Right.
They have to go to a normal job every day, all day, and they have a limited amount of time to make videos. They could be the best fish tank video maker ever, and if their barrier of entry to having it start to make money is that high, then I mean
they would never do it.
They would probably never do it. And even if you're on your way up to 10K, I mean still the money that you make off of ads is like, I mean it's not enough to
Right.
justify doing anything like stopping going to work, especially if you have a family. I mean it's ridiculous.
I agree, but I think it's sort of what Bob was saying, that like the people that are gonna quit, that's the thing that's gonna make them quit.
Yeah.
And they probably never would have been that great anyhow. Like that's not the next Stevie Ray Vaughan. You know what I mean? Like that's like Stevie Ray Vaughan played the guitar regardless of what was going on, and then you know what I mean?
Right.
You know Stevie Ray Vaughan, and then
those
people
are
were
just-
like, "Oh my God, this guy plays a guitar like a wizard from space," and they're like,
Yeah.
Yes, come over here, play for people,"
Yeah.
So I think, when they say like quality content, I don't know if that explains it, but what I was kind of on about was like, make the thing that you want to make, and if it's not important, then maybe do something else. Like maybe soccer practice is more important. As all what
Than
I'm
making
saying.
a video.
Like
Yeah,
people,
fair
you
enough.
might be diluting your actual life with the idea that like, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to do that thing, and then you have like 400 things by the end of the week, and you kind of end up doing them all kind of poorly because you just don't. There's really not enough time to like do them well. Yeah. So I think kind of what Bob was saying, like it would make those people kind of just maybe reevaluate what they're up to.
Well, the other important aspect here is that if they've already got 10K on their mind, you better believe that's coming down maybe in a year or two,
right?
Because it's just going to keep growing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to keep raising the bar every year at this point. So, you just got to think about the future.
That is a good point. That's a good point too. All right, we are at 5 o'clock. This is the end of the show.
Aw.
Suddenly it gets going, and then you're like, wait a minute, now
Yeah,
it's
that was
5?
fast.
What?
Gotta do one more super chat.
Oh, we got super chats here at the end. The voice of God, Jimmy Noodle Legs Neutron.
Jimmy.
Dan Squire, $5. Best show ever.
Best
Oh.
show
Ew.
ever. Well, good luck. No one has had
Thanks.
this many guests until tomorrow when Corey has more guests on the Aquarium Co-op channel. So check out that live stream. Also, if you want to meet all of us weirdos in person, you can actually come down to the Aquarium Co-op in Edmonds, Washington tomorrow night, January 20th at 7 p.m., not 7 a.m. We will not be there in the morning. That's silly. So 7 p.m. tomorrow night, and we'll all be there. We'll do a meet and greet. And if you're not there, we won't meet you. We won't greet you. We'll just wander off into the darkness. 99-cent cheeseburgers? What do you think? Pretty good? Not bad?
I'm into them.
That's Mike from Aqua Pros. If you haven't checked out his channel, check it out. He does a bunch of cool projects, aquascaping and all that kind of stuff. That's Bob Steenfot over there. If you haven't checked out his channel, go over there and super chat the hell out of him on Monday and Thursday.
Monday and Thursday.
Yes!
See me, my one watcher.
You see me win? I just won. I just won something. I'm not sure. But it's 5 o'clock, right?
Yep.
5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Don't be tripping. Hit the bell notification button, and then you'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah.
This is Rob from Flip Aquatics out in Ohio. If you want some shrimp, what else you sell?
Shrimp, everything related to shrimp.
No, we don't want any of that stuff.
Oh, okay,
Order
all right.
some shrimp.
So
No.
that's enough about me.
No, I'm just kidding. Just goofing on you. But Flip, so you sell everything related to shrimp. You guys do plants or anything like that?
Plants, we do. Yeah, we're getting more into plants. We're getting more into nanofish. That's going to be coming soon.
Oh, cool.
And
You guys are shipping fish?
yeah,
I know there's not a lot of people out there shipping fish. There's like Live Aquarium, a couple other places, not very many.
yeah. So it's
But you're doing the nano fish. So what's a
Nanofish.
couple of fish that we could see maybe?
celestial pearl danios, ember tetras, things like that. Mostly tetras, danios, rasboras.
Oh, I'm excited.
We're going to do a lot with cories and plecos. So
Trail off quietly. That's Flip Aquatics. Go ahead and check him out. I know he live streams on Sundays. What other days are you scheduled?
just Sundays for now.
Just Sundays for
Yep.
now, and then he also does some released videos, but you have to hit the notification button so you'll be able to check those out when they do come out because they're random. They come out at random times.
Yeah.
Or do you
It
schedule?
is a little random.
Are you scheduled? No?
No.
Oh, totally random.
Yeah.
That's the Jimmy Noodle Eggs neutron tank over there. That's the Bearded Fish Keeper over here. He helped me out with a lot of the work in here. He also built that whole fish stand over there that you can't see. So it's really fun to explain that. He has some pleco caves coming out now. What's the name of that? Glass cave? Cages? Glass?
Pleco
glass.
Plego blast.
I was doing good until I got to the end. Pleco glass. They're actually like hand-blown glass caves for your plecos to go in and lay their eggs and do whatever silly business they may or may not be doing in there. They're really cool. Hopefully Jimmy gets the overlay and all that kind of stuff. If you can't, just look up Pleco glass. It's like two
On
words that I
Facebook.
don't know how to remember. At Pleco, you know what a plecostomus is, right? That's the abbreviation of plecostomus. Pleco. Glass.
You need to make a video about that.
At Facebook.
People need to know this.
What's the Bearded Fish Keeper? That's his. He will be on the Bearded Fish Keeper channel. Probably like them flying through the air and falling. Jeez. That's Corey from Aquarium Co-op.
Surprises.
Like to say thank you, and we'll all holler at you at some other time. I don't know, maybe from your channel or his channel or that channel or
Yeah.
that channel.
Something
or whatever.
else is coming on
Tomorrow,
tonight.
Noon. Aquarium Co-op. Later.
See ya.